Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good to see everybody here. I see a lot of people in the chat already saying hello from wherever they are joining from. As always, thanks for joining. I see some new faces in the chat as well, which is always good to see. Welcome to another round of whatever this show is. I don't even know what to call it anymore, but today we've got a few fun things planned. We've got the giveaway, which is still running. You have about 30 minutes left on it. Link is below. I'll talk more about that in a minute. We've got, I've got a bunch of cameras here, which I thought I might try on the second half of the show to try streaming from all these things to my studio, see how those stack up. don't like to announce too much about what I'm planning because it never goes according to plan, but that is why we are here. If you do have a question, then make sure you put in the chat the letter Q at the beginning, and that filters it off into a little questions place on my screen so I can see the questions better. And otherwise, feel free to talk amongst yourselves in the chat as well. It's always a good time to just see people chatting there. So yeah, Chris, when you say you don't know what this is 2 hours later, somehow these streams have turned into 2-hour streams, which was never the plan, but that's just how it goes, apparently. So we'll see what else I can break today too, because you never know. You never know. Oh no, and Julian is reminding me that yesterday I completely forgot that the people who are already subscribed to my mailing list don't get a secret code to enter. And now I feel bad that I forgot to do that yesterday. Completely blanked. I said I was going to do that on Friday after the stream, and I did not. So let me think. How can I solve this? Well, the good news is you don't have to do it to have a chance of winning. You just get extra bonus chances if you do. But what could I do? What could I do? Oh, I know. Anybody who is subscribed to my mailing list will have received an email 30 minutes ago, and that email contains information about this video. It's automatic. It goes automatically when I go live. And what I'm going to do is, since you already have that email, I'm going to use something that's in that email as a secret code. And if you don't have the email, then if you weren't subscribed, you wouldn't have gotten that email. So only people who are already subscribed will have that email. That makes sense, right? What I'm going to do is here's what we're going to do. We're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So I'm doing this is some last minute scrambling. This is great. But that's I have to do this now because the giveaway ends in 30 minutes and that's automatic. Okay. While I'm doing this, let me talk about what I'm doing. The giveaway is for the giveaway is for a YoloBox Pro. They are sponsoring this giveaway. They want to send a YoloBox Pro to the lucky winner, who we'll find out later today. And also, as part of the promo, is for the first 3 people who actually buy a YoloBox Pro or regular one on this during this sale, which they're doing right now, which is what is it? It's like it's I don't remember the exact pricing now. I'll look it up in a second. Okay, yes, here's what I'll do. Sorry, I'm trying to manage this contest thing. Okay, I'm gonna make I have to make a new thing. Secret code. New secret code that only people who already got that email will know. That's what we're gonna do. Secret code. Enter the secret code if you are already subscribed. And I believe subscribing was worth 5. There we go. If you received the newsletter email from today, then you will know the code. Okay. And okay, I said 14, 15, 16. Great. Okay. So the first 3 people who buy a YoloBox on the discounted pricing, I think today is the last day. You still have all of today to do it. then YoloLive will also send you a stand, a version of my stand for your YoloBox, and that is this one. So this is what my YoloBox is sitting on. It's got these little mounting things so you can attach stuff to it, and you will get one of these sent to you by YoloLive if you send in a receipt. And to do that, you need to have a receipt dated between Friday and today, and send it to both me and Frank. And I have the email address from... I have the email address in my chat thing. Where is it? Otherwise, I'm going to have to go dig it up again. I forgot to make myself a lower third for that. Good planning. Good planning. I think it scrolled too far back. Oh, there it is. Okay, here is the emails for receipts. Frank and myself send a copy of the receipt, and then the first 3 people will get a stand, which is super cool to have YoloLive sponsoring that. Okay, so thanks, Chris. Things like this is what makes this show organic. Yes, this is an organic show. Grass-fed. Yes. Okay, so the people who got the email, this is what we're going to do right now. People who got the email from today, if you want to claim the bonus entries for being subscribed, then look in that email, read all of the words in the email until the words that are the 14th, 15th, and 16th word. It'll be 3 words. It's word 14, 15, and 16 in that email, and enter them in all caps in the new thing that showed up on the giveaway, which is the one that says it's a secret code, but it's for the subscribers. So it is called, I don't have the view of it that you have on here. It should be called enter the secret code if you are already subscribed. And there'll be a place to enter the code. The code is 3 words. Oh, shoot. It didn't let me save. It didn't save it right. Hold on. Fixing it. Good thing I checked. Is that going to work? Is it going to work? Yes. Okay. 3 words, but there are no spaces. It's all caps. 3 words, no spaces. Words 14, 15, and 16 from the email. Okay. That is how to claim that. And now I have to watch this to see if it's working. Low tech solution. Low tech solution. I could have done the live coding thing, but that would just be a nightmare, I think. Secret codes. Has anybody claimed to get? Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on this tab. Cool. That'll solve it. And then we go. Okay, here we go. So that is how to find the code from the email today. Lucas says, by mistake I typed my email instead of the code and now I cannot change it. So what happens is the other one will accept anything in that box and everybody will get the bonus entries. If when I confirm that whoever is randomly chosen hasn't cheated, then I will, that's a manual step. So it's going to randomly draw a winner from everybody who's entered based on the weights that are there. If it picks somebody and I'm looking through all the entries they've got and they just typed in some random junk into that, I will know and I will disqualify them. But if it's your email address, then it's fine. It'll count. Christian says, do you consider Q&A as 1 word or 2? I will give you a hint, and that is not the right code. Let me double check my email that I just got from myself, because now I'm wondering if I counted wrong. Did I get the email from myself? Am I subscribed to my own newsletter? Interesting question. Oh, I see what happened. I forgot that my newsletter adds words. Start counting from after the line with the red dot. That's vague enough. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that people who aren't subscribed, who weren't already subscribed, don't get to cheat. Start counting from the line after the line with the red dot. That's the trick. Okay, now let's see if this is working. Maybe I should have just done a live coding thing. Okay. Let's go and yeah, what word are you starting to count with? That's the trick. I'll give us a few minutes. Maybe I'll bump out the expiration of the giveaway to be 45 minutes after the hour instead of 30 minutes after the hour, since this was completely my fault. That should do it. Okay, so now let's take some questions while we wait for people to do that, and we will see how that goes. Okay. Oh, Jeff says, what about the Ninja Cast? Is it missing something that other devices can do? The Ninja Cast looks super cool. I don't have one yet. I'm hoping I can get one next month to try out and demo. We'll see how that goes. And it does look cool. I will say it looks more like, so it doesn't have any streaming features built in. I know like everybody calls these things streaming mixers, but I feel like you can't call it a streaming mixer unless it actually can stream to the internet. Like if it's just encoding for showing up as a webcam on your computer, that's great, that's useful, but that's not a streaming mixer. So YoloBox is a streaming mixer. ATEM Mini Pro and Extreme, those are streaming devices. I do not consider the original ATEM Mini a streaming device. I also do not consider the Ninja Cast a streaming device. They are video mixers. It's fine that they're that, but they're not a streaming device. Anyway, that's the big thing it's missing. The big thing it has that the ATEM Mini, original ATEM Mini does not have is it is a very high quality recorder because it's got recording to SSDs that you can put in. So you can record like, you know, ProRes 422, good color range, good resolution, high bit rate and all that stuff onto good drives. And you would need, if you're using an ATEM Mini or other sort of just plain switcher, you'll need some other device also in order to record. So that's a big advantage of the Ninja Cast. But it has other things in it, and the again, like I'm hoping I can get one so I can actually do a proper hands-on demo and try it out here for everybody. Eric says, I agree with that definition of video mixer versus actual honest-to-goodness streaming transmission. Yeah, thanks. I agree. Yeah, okay. Oh, question about the... let's see, has anybody figured out the code? Secret codes? Aha, okay, people are figuring it out. Great. Is it... the 14th, 15th, and 16th word? Yeah, it is. 3 words, smashed together, no spaces, all caps. And it'll end up being kind of long. So it is a lot more than, it's a lot more than 5 letters. It should let you type more than 5 letters. Peter says, I connected 4 cameras to my Extreme on a live gig. 2 signals were not stable. Signals disappear after minutes. Any ideas for better HDMI cables? Yeah, this is the problem with HDMI. It's not super like, there's just a lot of variation, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. The cables like this one, so this is like a slim cable that I have. I like these for the studio when I'm doing like 3 or 6 foot runs, because they're just really flexible. They don't pull down at all, right? It's like, it just floats up there. This one's thicker, obviously. This one's thicker. I don't like these as much. You can see it's kind of pulling down. But the problem with the thin ones is that they are much more likely to have signal dropouts depending on all sorts of fun things. So it depends on the camera it's plugged into, how strong it's sending the signal out in the first place. Depends on what's receiving it. It is dependent on like how thick the cable is, just all sorts of stuff. So if you are having if you're having trouble with what looks like signals, like the input flickering and like dropping in and out, it's very likely the HDMI cable that's the problem. And try a bigger cable, try a shorter cable, and if those don't work, then it's possible that the camera you're sending from isn't powerful enough to do that, to run that distance. At 3 or 6 feet, like, you shouldn't have any trouble with pretty much anything. But I've definitely had trouble with certain cameras, especially smaller ones, over say like 10 feet. So at 10 feet, the Lumix camera is great. This will pump out a solid signal at 10 feet. But like the little Sony cameras, I think the A6400, I can't remember. No, that one is running right now. That's my overhead. This is the A6400, and that cable I think is actually 10 feet running out to the little box down there. And but there's some other ones that have just not worked at 10 feet. So that's I would say that's a couple things to try. Hopefully that gives you some thoughts. And if you have to run longer cables than 10 feet or 6 feet, then you're going to be better off switching to SDI and doing a conversion. So, I don't have one of those within arm's reach, but the little HDMI to SDI converters, you put two. So you do a short HDMI cable into the converter, a long SDI cable for whatever distance you need to go. And those can get really long, like up to 300 feet. And then SDI to HDMI at the other end. Graham says the micro HDMI from the Sony A6400 is very fiddly. Okay, maybe I finally found a cable that's thick enough. Oh, the other one is, when it's micro HDMI, there's those little converter cables that are like the short little bits. Do I have one? Where did it go? No, I don't know where it went. It's like the little, oh yeah, here it is. It's the little short little cable like this, and it'll be, micro on one end and regular size on the other. And if you add this into the chain, the connection here can start to cause a problem too. So what I've got on the overhead camera right here is, it is a single cable. It is a 10-foot cable, and it's micro HDMI and full HDMI on the other end. And that is one cable that goes from the camera into my SDI converters, and that's been fine. So I think I did have like a slim micro to full HDMI cable, and that one wasn't working. Or if you put in too many little connections, it'll be flaky too. Rick says, for long cable runs, I've used the optical HDMI with 100% success to run 130 feet. Wow. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's another cool thing. That didn't exist when last time I needed to run long cables. And now I've been using the wireless transmitters for long runs instead of cables anyway. But the optical HDMI cables look super cool, and that is very, very cool to see that. Okay, let me get back to let me take a look at how we're doing on the giveaway code. Ergenvasmit S just joined. The winner has not been drawn. We're going to draw the winner after 45 minutes past the hour, and that is 25 minutes from now. You still have a chance to get all the entries in. We are trying to make sure that the people who are already subscribed to my newsletter do get a chance to enter, even though they couldn't get the code from that. And it looks like a few people are figuring it out, but then we're also getting some problems with the field not being big enough. Yeah, do try refreshing. Tell you what, here's even lower tech version. Since the subscriber thing that asks for the code doesn't actually validate it, it's me validating it manually afterwards, then what you do is go just put in your email address into that field, and that should work. It will ask you to enter your subscription confirmation code. Instead of doing that, put in your email address. And I'm going to check that when I draw the winner to make sure the winner didn't cheat. So don't cheat. And I can see when people subscribe too. So go ahead and do that. That's a lower tech version, and that should give you no troubles with entering in that box. Okay. Oh yes, it's the last one at the very bottom. It should be enter the secret code if you're already subscribed, not the secret code from the stream. That's the one from Friday. Cool. And again, count starting after the line that has the red dot in the email, and it won't be Q&A. That's not part of the code. Okay, couple of, yeah, reload the page. That last line I added, so if you had it open, it won't have shown up. I think I'm joining almost at the end. I don't know what you mean. We are just starting. We're only 20 minutes in, and we're just starting this. Okay. Other questions? I see some people talking about... Again, if you do have a question, make sure that you put the letter Q. Otherwise, it shows up on the other side of the screen, and it's too hard to find it in the chat. Keith says, great way to have a code in the YoloBox Pro video. Yeah, thanks. That was fun. I wanted to do something a little bit different for that secret code. So hopefully, well, actually, a lot of you did find it. I can see that a lot of you found it, which is awesome. Okay. Okay. I see some questions about HDCP. Where is that question? Now I can't find it. Did I miss it? Oh, here's a question from JP. I tried your tutorial for the streaming bridge. Unfortunately, I'm having issues with installing omxplayer. It says there's no installation. Okay, so yeah, apparently in the new Raspberry Pi operating system, they took out omxplayer. So in the latest version, if you're starting from scratch now, the latest version of the Raspberry Pi OS does not have it. And I'm really sad. I don't know why they took it out. So if you want to follow that tutorial, you'll have to download the previous version of the Raspberry Pi OS. Otherwise, I need to do an update to that tutorial to use something that is not omxplayer. It looks like there are some options, but I don't know exactly what they are or how to do it yet. I haven't done that research. So hopefully, I have no idea when I'm going to be able to get to that. Hopefully somebody will like post in the comments the fix for it, or like how to do it with something that's not omxplayer. But in the meantime, you can always downgrade to you can get the previous OS version, and that one should still work. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to be really annoyed. Okay, and then, well, aha, here we go. Is there a way to troubleshoot the faulty HDMI out port on the ATEM Mini Pro? I only see the feed when I route it through a monitor to a TV. Not direct. Through a monitor. So if you are going from if you're going from the ATEM Mini Pro, it should work to most screens. I have still seen a couple of screens that it doesn't work with. And then I think those are like, I don't know exactly what it is. They did a couple of updates recently. I guess it's been a while now, to make it compatible with more screens, but it has something to do with when the monitor doesn't support certain refresh rates, then it can't finish the negotiation. So that's why you're probably seeing, like, when you go through a different monitor, that's doing something to the signal to make it work out at the other end. I don't think it's an HDCP issue. I think it's just a refresh rate issue. And I don't necessarily think it's a faulty HDMI out port of the ATEM. I think it's just a bug they have that it doesn't talk right. I'm using one right now into the little Feel World 7-inch monitors. That's one I have at home for that setup. That one works fine, and that goes out to a 13-inch slim panel style monitor. That chain works fine, but it doesn't work if I go directly into that monitor, which is really annoying. So yeah, I've seen that problem before, and they did push out a firmware update a while back that did solve it for a big chunk of monitors, but it didn't solve it for all of them. JB says, it's been a while since I've caught one of your streams. Your lighting and image look great. What changes have you made? Thanks, I appreciate it. This is tiniest bit different than what I talked about on the studio tour video. So on the studio tour video, which definitely go watch that, because that is, it's not that long ago that I did it. It was only like a month or two ago, and most of the studio is still set up that way. I haven't done a huge change yet. So if you're curious about like exactly what is where around here, that definitely go watch that. The big change compared to from that video to now is now I don't have a camera in the right spot to show you. I can just turn off to demo. So my main light over here is the same one that's in that video, but I have a new light that new old light. It's the one I used to use on my desk that was on the floor sitting in a box, and I was like, oh, I should use that. So if I turn that off, that's that light. So what I did in the tour video was I had a little light that was like battery powered up here, and I was using that for a little bit, but battery powered lights are really annoying. So I brought a hardwired light, and that's on the other side of me. So that's lighting up that half of my face. And I think that does a pretty good job of, it's not totally flat this way, because that's also at a slightly different color temperature. That one's got a lot more of the oranges in it, and I can demonstrate by turning off the oranges. Now it's matching that light, and if I bring some of the oranges back, you'll see it gets a little bit warmer on that side, which is nice. That's the big difference between what I've got in the tour video. Otherwise, that is still a great overview of everything I've got here. Hans says, talking HDMI, I had a problem with my camera, Canon XA15 and YoloBox. It ended up with EDID or emulator to get the video through. Ooh, that's a fun one too. Yeah, I've seen that too with the YoloBox. Like again, the inputs, sometimes things just don't work. Those you can get little boxes that will lock an EDID, which is part of the negotiation of like how the two devices decide what frame rate and resolution to send. And sometimes they just don't talk correctly to each other. So you can use a little box to like force it on one end. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. Please. The chat's getting really busy. So again, if you do have a question, you want me to see it, make sure you put the Q in front of it, and then it'll add it to this list. How are we doing on the giveaway? We got 15 minutes left, and we have, I'm looking for the stats on the secret codes. Good. People are finding it. And we've also got all of the, yep, we got people entering their email in the email field. Perfect. Okay, that'll work. Fantastic. Roland says, the issue is that Dave can't get the program out from his ATEM Mini Pro to work with the modern TV. I suggest it might be HDCP. HDCP would prevent it the other way around. So the ATEM Mini doesn't do any HDCP negotiations at all. So for example, you can't plug a Chromecast into the ATEM Mini because the Chromecast will only do HDCP. And if a device does support HDCP as like the upgrade path, it will send it if the device supports it, and that's will be going in. The ATEM Mini does not support HDCP, so it won't do any negotiation or decryption, and it does not say that it supports HDCP. So that's going in. On the way out, it won't say that it supports HDCP to the output device either. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat. I forgot I left my audio on today. So I can actually hear that when it comes in. Thank you. From the lead attorney, would you recommend buying an ATEM Mini in order to use an iPad with StreamYard? Thank you so much for all of your content. Appreciate it. That's a great question. Was there anything else I wanted to say about the HDCP issue? Let me just wrap that up. The trailing thought was, no, the ATEM Mini is not going to be sending HDCP out to the TV, so the TV should be able to support a non-HDCP signal. I do have a feeling it's a refresh rate. Oh, and then Dave also said he tried multiple TVs. They could be similar models with refresh rate issues. Yeah, I would try like as different a TV as you could find. I thought the TV might be set to require HDCP. I've run into issues with TVs not allowing devices which don't support it. That I've never seen. That would be a new one to me. That would be very strange if a TV will only show an HDCP signal. If anybody else has heard of that, then let me know, because that would be very concerning, and I'm never going to buy a TV again. Okay, let me get to that super chat from the lead attorney. Would you recommend buying an ATEM Mini in order to use an iPad with StreamYard? iPad with StreamYard. An iPad won't be able to take an ATEM Mini USB in. There's no like capture device on an iPad. So if you're using an iPad with StreamYard, you'd be using it as like either the built-in camera, which the built-in camera on the new iPads are actually half decent now. So you could get away with that, in which case you don't need an ATEM Mini because it's not going to help you at all there. The ATEM Mini with StreamYard is a good plan for if you're using it with a computer, because it means that you can do multiple cameras into StreamYard, which otherwise would be like really just a nightmare to deal with multiple browsers open and stuff like that. So if you're using an ATEM Mini with StreamYard, the thing you're using that for is being able to do multiple camera angles, like an overhead, a side by side, and a main shot, all going into StreamYard, and StreamYard will see it as only one camera. So it'll think it's just one webcam, but then you can do all the angle switching separately. And for that, you don't need the Pro. You can just use the base model ATEM Mini without the streaming buttons, because all you're doing is camera switching and using the USB-C out into StreamYard. So yeah, cool. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if you had other things in mind though with that setup. Okay, 10 minutes left till we do the giveaway. Not Slim One says, can you comment on the YoloBox dropping frames while viewing a live stream? Well, the YoloBox says that it is not dropping those frames. Interesting. The viewing, if you're seeing drop frames on the live stream, it could be dropping it at the receiving end, first of all, and not the producing end. It's not supposed to be dropping frames now with the fixed frame rate option available in the YoloBox. That's something they added recently, which is the ability to choose, I always forget which one it is, encoding setting. Yeah, so you can actually lock it into a frame rate now, which is super great. That is fantastic. It used to be variable frame rate, which is annoying. So if you are seeing drop frames, I guess it could also just be that the internet isn't fast enough and something else is going on. But it could be on the receiving end. Go Web Technologies, I missed your last live. Can I be part of the giveaway? You absolutely can. You still have a few minutes to get all your entries in. Just follow that link and do as many as you can over the next 10 minutes. You probably won't have time to find the secret code that's in the last stream, but it's fine. You'll still enter. That just gives you more chances to win. Serious Films. I love the Rode Wireless 2 after watching your video. I think they will update and show if the unit is muted or not. Maybe a flashing red light you can only see in the unit on the camera. That is a really good point. I didn't really realize that. And that is a interesting usability problem. That is so on the, let's take a look at this one. On the receiver, here's my I only have one mic connected right now, but you can see it's set to record and you can see the audio levels. And then there's on the transmitter, there's really just one button, right? And if you push the button, I have to turn that screen back on. Come on. Focus. Okay, so if I push the button, it mutes it. But the little lights didn't change. There's no indicator on the transmitter whether it's muted, only on the receiver, which is fine if you're using this by yourself. But if I have given this to somebody on the other side of the room and they've tapped the button, then they don't know if they're muted or not, which is bad for two reasons. That is a really good point, and I did not notice that when I did the video about it, and I apologize for not noticing that. But definitely limits where it's like safe to use it. It would be nice. I don't know if the LEDs they're probably fixed blue. I don't think they can make them red, but it would be nice if at least like they can make them blink or something when it is muted. Is there an easy solution to run an ATEM Mini Extreme on a battery? Easy, I guess. The trick is you need to find a cable that's the right kind. So like you can get large battery packs that are 12 volts. It does need to be 12 volts also. The ATEM is, oh right, no, the ATEM accepts 9 to 20. But I think the one it ships with is a 12 volt power supply, and that's pretty normal. So if you get a battery that can do 12 volt DC out, which there's plenty of those, they tend to be bigger. They will often have a little DC barrel jack plug on them. I'm trying to see if I have one around here, but I don't think I do. And then with the DC barrel jack, you can get a cable that is the right one for the ATEM Mini on one end and the one for the battery on the other end. It'll take a while to track that down probably, so that's going to be the hardest part. But yeah, then it should work fine, and you shouldn't have any problem with it. If you could also, I guess, do the slightly less efficient version of that, which is getting the batteries that have a 120 volt output, but it's silly to like have a DC source that you're converting to AC 120 volt and then back to DC. But that would also work fine. Can you comment on your personal experience with 4G LTE? Yeah, I have done a couple of streams over LTE connection before. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Interrupting my question there. That's always fun. Okay. When I restore a complete ATEM XML file, it only overwrites macros but doesn't erase old macros. You've found one of the annoying things about the ATEM. Yes, it will, any macros that are defined in the XML will replace the ones that are in the existing one, but it will not remove them. And I have done this two ways. One, removing them one by one. And it takes a while to do that because there's potentially a lot of macros, but it does work. The other option is, let me go into my computer where I have a XML file. So the other thing that I've done is, yeah, this is what the XML looks like from the ATEM export. And I've got all my macros in here, but one thing I've done is gone in and essentially defined blank ones. So if you delete all of these and then delete the name, but leave it there, it is in the file and it will restore it, and it'll restore it with a blank name and no actions. So you just have to like copy this and fill out all the numbers that are the blank slots, which is also not great, but maybe you could like make an XML file for that just sort of erases all of them, and then you can just like leave that on your computer somewhere in case you need to ever wipe them all out. Great question. Thanks for the super chat. Hope that helps. Okay, couple minutes left before the giveaway ends, so last chance to get your entries in. I was talking about 4G LTE. Yeah, I've done some streams on the YoloBox over 4G. I have also I've done it both by tethering like Ethernet from the YoloBox into a router that has LTE, also putting my SIM card into the YoloBox, which I did think ahead, and I do have a SIM tool here, so maybe later we can try that, and I can actually show popping my phone SIM card into there. And it works fine. You are at the mercy of your 4G or LTE network, so if you're like moving around, then your signal is not necessarily consistent. That was when I went to visit David Joshua Ford in New York. We did a stream from his car, and the second half of it was basically a disaster. And it was just because suddenly, for some reason, my 4G connection, my LTE connection, just started failing. I also suspect that it was partly because I was burning through data so fast that that I was having to like re-up my data plan all the time, and I think that may have been causing problems too. So don't try to do a 2.5 hour stream without planning to have a data cap high enough for it. Okay, 2 minutes left on the giveaway. Last chance. 2 minutes left. Okay. Dave says, thank you very much. Let me look into the refresh rates and HDCP. Cool. Hopefully, yeah, report back, come back, or leave a comment down here after this is done to let us know how that goes. I just powered up my Sling Studio, and the lack of updates is starting to show on my iPad Pro. Is it worth it to get the regular YoloBox instead of the Pro, since it's quite the price drop? Ooh, good question. I also have the Sling Studio, and I haven't powered it up in a long time because I didn't have any reason to use it for the last 2 years, mostly. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I will say the difference between the regular YoloBox and the Pro is significantly better. It is significantly better, and it's probably worth it if you're thinking about it, honestly. The CPU is much faster in the Pro, which means they can do more stuff, and it has more features already, and they're planning new features and some of them are only possible to do with the Pro. So that is my thoughts on that. Philip says, if you're already subscribed, how are we supposed to find the code? Put your email address in the box that asks for the code. That's the shortcut, and I'll sort it out later. Okay. Oh, you only have like 30 seconds left anyway, which is maybe actually only 25 now that I've said that because of the RTMP delay. Okay, last couple questions. No, I guess I'm gonna pause the questions and switch over to the giveaway, since that's about to end in a couple of seconds. So let's see. We are going to take a look at all of the entries in the giveaway and pick someone who is the winner. I see, just looking through the logs here, it looks like good people are entering their email. Let me double check that it isn't flagging people's entries as spam. Sometimes it does that and it's wrong. So I can go and fix it. Yeah, these all look fine. So we're going to mark these as okay. And great. And I think it's over now. So what we're going to do is we've got the little tab over here for announcing the winners. Okay, I guess this is it. We're gonna do the drawing. Because I'm doing this live, I'm going to do the drawing. I'm going to double check that whoever it picked is a real person and has not broken the rules somehow. And then I will announce the winner. And to claim the prize, then I will have you just email me and we will sort out the shipping later. So, okay, here we go. 26 out of 4,470 chances to win. It only takes one. Yes. Okay. I have draw the winner. And I should have done that after I actually announce it. Here is the winner. And let me just double check that all of these are real. Yes, found the secret code. All right. The winner is, oh, I recognize you from the stream. Congratulations. Okay, here is, I'm gonna go find a chat message from you, and then, oh my gosh. Okay, yes, here we go. One more time. The winner of the YoloBox Pro is Shoji Productions. Congratulations. You are the winner. Please go ahead and email me hello@aaronpk.tv and we will get that shipped out. And thanks to YoloBox for sponsoring that. Very huge thanks to them for running this giveaway. Cool. Congratulations. That's exciting. All right. Oh yeah, and last thing about the giveaway, we're still doing the if you now that the giveaway is over, you can, if you were thinking about getting one, you can actually go buy one. And if you do buy one, by the end of today, then send me the receipt to the send the receipt to me and Frank here, and we will also send you one of the stands that I have created. So there are, I believe, still 2 of those left. So if you do, the first 2 people now who buy one and send me the receipt, you will get a stand. Okay. That was fun. Now let's go back to business. Oh, excellent. Thanks again. Cool. Congratulations. Okay, back to business. I'm going to keep going through the questions here. So if you do have more questions, again, drop them into the chat with a Q at the front. David says, what do you think of the new Ninja switcher that uses the Ninja V? I did mention that a little bit earlier. I don't have too many thoughts about it yet, other than just what I've seen by reading the website. I did watch Gerald Undun's stream about it, which he did a good demo of it too. And I will hopefully get one to actually try it out. So I'll have more thoughts of that soon. Oh, Graham has a good question. I feel like this question comes up every time. Do you have any suggestions for an easy to access power switch for the ATEM? I'd like to have it on the low voltage side rather than before the power brick. So funny that you mentioned that. Last week, when somebody asked this question and I did not have a recommendation, somebody emailed me and said that they have created one. And apparently had emailed me and it went into my spam folder, so I didn't see it. I feel bad about that, but my spam folder is a disaster. My regular inbox is a disaster. So we are going to, he's going to send me one to actually demo, so I can't show it to you, but I will drop the link in here for now, which is here. And it looks exactly like what you would expect. It is a, it's like a, I guess, pass through. So you plug it in, you can screw in the, one end into the power brick from the ATEM, and then you plug the other end into the ATEM, and then it's got a switch on it. So, yeah, I will I'm gonna get a hold of one from him. He's gonna send one to me, and be able to actually show you in real life on a stream. It's very straightforward. It is a switch. It does what you think. But we are also going to do a giveaway of those. So sneak peek of the next giveaway. We're gonna have a couple of those to give away. Not next week. It'll be the week after. So that is my recommendation. Randy says, I have one of those switches and it seems to work well. Fantastic. Bailey says you should say how the secret code was put into your last stream. Oh, good idea. Now that that's done. So if you have been around here before, you know that I like to hide secret codes in my live streams for these giveaways. And what I've done in the past is like printed them out on like pieces of paper and stuck them to things. So like if I was showing you like this microphone, I would like stick it on the bottom as if it were a real label. And it was just like a little code that I printed out. I've done that a few times now, and I wanted to do something a little bit different this time. So what I did this time was, yes, this one. This is a stream from Friday, and I was showing off the YoloBox, and showing graphics and stuff. Oh, I actually have this live too. I might as well show you the real one. So, I was showing a countdown timer and showing a lower third. One of the graphics that I put in here was this QR code. And if you scan it, it is actually just like 7 letters. That's all that's in it. So if I scan the QR code, it should find, yeah. So you can see, maybe I have to show you this on screenshot this so I can show it closer up. And then, yeah. So the screenshot, or if you take a picture of it in your camera, focus, come on. Hello. Wow, it just cannot handle this. Okay, there it is. See, my camera is like, oh, there's the code. So my thought was, all you have to do is just point your camera at it, and it shows you the code right on the screen. So I think that worked well. A lot of people found it, which is great. So next time, who knows what I'll do next time? Maybe the same thing again. Randy says, I had hell with a QR code. My Android phone wouldn't read it properly. Finally got the tablet to read it, but only when the code is very large on the screen. I did make sure to show it a couple of times, and it wasn't only, where was it? It wasn't only in the angle I just showed. I did show you, for example, oh my gosh, where did it go? At one point, I actually showed the multi-view. There it is. I showed the multi-view of the output of the stream. So here it is. That's when it was biggest. And that should have scanned just fine. Cool. Okay, so let's keep going. With the questions, let me scroll back up. Oh, from Hardy Media. I missed this one earlier. Tell us how you're using your new Midas digital mixer. Oh yeah, that's one of the things that is different from the studio tour. I didn't have that mixer yet. So that is over on my floor rack, because I don't have a rack yet. It's just on my floor in a pile of other gear. But the reason I got that was because I wanted to be able to have the same microphone here and at the table. So when I'm over there, I want that set to have the same microphone so that it sounds the same. And I have these two Samson C02s, which is what you're hearing right now. And I like those microphones a lot. And they are now both connected into that mixer. And then one of the reasons I got that as opposed to other things was that's network controllable. So it's on the network, which means I can go into, I can actually go into Companion and make actions for it. So like when I hit the start button for starting the show, then one of the things it does is on the mixer, it'll unmute the right microphone. And when I go between the desk and the table, if I were to move over there, I need to switch microphones. So I can't switch in the ATEM because it's running one signal into the ATEM. So now I'm sending a command over to the mixer to do the switch there. So it does mute on 2, unmutes channel 1, and that's one of the advantages of that one is that it is on the network, so I can control it from Companion. So that's one of the reasons. And then I'm also curious, which I don't have much of it set up yet, but I'm curious to try to use it for audio routing, where the I have one mix going into the ATEM, which is what you're hearing on the stream, but then the one thing I want to add, which I don't have yet, is I want to wire in my speakers into that mixer also as on a separate output. Because what I want is when I'm doing this stream, I would like to hear all of the sound that is not the microphone in the room. So like the super chat noises and the other sound effects that are part of like the countdown music, all that, I want to hear it, but I don't want, and I want to hear it like over the real speakers, so I don't have to wear headphones all the time. But obviously I don't want my own microphone audio coming out of those speakers. And I can do that with the mixer because you can have separate mixes for each output that it has. So that's my plan. Do you have a link for that? I do. Although I think I need to update it to be the Midas one because I bought the Behringer one first. And let's see if I can find it. I don't even know. It's not showing up on Amazon right now. I will give you the Sweetwater link. Oh, here's the actual product page. So this is the product page for the Midas mixer. And then I bought it on Sweetwater, and I don't have an affiliate link for that on Sweetwater because I don't know. I haven't signed up for their program yet. So there's the link for that. How do you keep the extraneous sounds from the speakers from making their way into your microphone? So that's one of the reasons I don't want my own audio coming out of the speakers, obviously. Also because it would be delayed to match the other camera, and that would just sound really bad. My thought is that, again, I haven't tried this yet, but my thought is that because the microphone is, it's pretty directional. So like if I'm over here, it's not going to sound good, right? So it's pretty directional already. And the speakers are way up there, or they're going to be on my desk or something. So it won't be picking up much of the audio anyway. And if it does pick up the audio, because what I'll be listening to is the sound effects that are part of the stream, it will be picking up the same sound. So it shouldn't actually sound bad. It'll be like a low volume, tinny version of the sound effects, like the applause or the cheers or the drum roll or whatever. So we'll see how it goes. Have not confirmed that theory yet. That's my plan. What I do have running right now is the sound effects, like the applause and the drum roll. They're coming out of my MacBook, the little built-in speaker of, not MacBook. Oh my gosh, Mac Mini, that's the word. They're coming out of the Mac Mini speaker, which is really not a good speaker, but it's loud enough for me to hear it. And I don't think it's causing a problem with the sound effects. So that is the, that's the theory. How are you planning to do with the echo of the sound in the room? Well, again, I'm not going to route my voice out of those, which my voice is on a delay at the other set. So this camera is fast enough I don't have to delay the audio to match this camera, but I do for the other camera. So I'm not routing my audio through the room, only the sound effects. So it's only the stuff like, it'll be like the stinger. I can't hear that right now because I'm not listening on headphones, and I would like to have that sound in the room. And I don't think it'll cause a problem because it'll be real time as it's coming out of the stream. We'll see how it goes. I will update back. I'll update you on that after I actually have that set up. What I need to do is either figure out how to mount speakers to my desk, which is getting very full, or I need to just have a long cable to go to the back. You can see them up there. They're up on top of that shelf. Ooh, here's a good question from ZNDN Media. I have the ATEM Mini Pro, but I'm thinking about getting the Blackmagic ATEM Television Studio Pro. Is there any real difference? There is a big difference. So let me look at this again. Television Studio Pro HD, because they have a couple of things that have very confusing names. So if you look at the lineup, the ATEM Mini Pro 4 input, this is the one that has recording to USB and built-in RTMP streaming, which is super, super, super useful. The Studio Pro HD, is that the one that you said? I think that's what you said. This one has 4 SDI, 4 HDMI, has a bunch of keyers and stuff. The big things that it's missing is it does not have recording to USB or streaming. You have to do that in an external device. So probably a HyperDeck and a web presenter would be like the natural things to pair it with. HyperDeck for recording, web presenter for streaming. And that's just because this is an older device. Don't bother buying this one right now. This is too old. I would not recommend this one at this point. But that's the big difference. Is like if you want to use this and also be able to record and stream, you're gonna have to go buy those devices separately. So what me and everybody else is hoping for right now is basically for an update to maybe these, but more likely this tier of products that adds all the features that are in the Extreme, like, 8 inputs and recording and super source and streaming, getting all of that into a newer device that's not that form factor. So I do think at the very least it's worth waiting till the end of next month, because they were going to have some announcements at NAB and IBC, both of which were canceled. So they may still try to do their own announcements about those now. That's my thoughts on that. Follow up from that Echo. Oh my gosh, thank you for the super chat. I just clobbered it with the question. Hardy Media says, thanks, looking forward to more on the audio mix. Cool. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I'll post more. Talk more about that on these shows later. But yeah, so the echo of the effects, I have that problem in my studio if the sound in the studio is too something. Did that get cut off? We'll see how it goes. But hey, example, I heard that super chat in the room from the speakers that are over there. They sound absolutely terrible, but it was enough for me to hear it. And that means this microphone is also theoretically picking it up. So you may have heard that as part of the stream, but let me know if it sounded bad. Roland says, I use IEMs to monitor and use them wirelessly with the Bluetooth transmitter and receiver. Yeah, I could get all fancy like that. If I was monitoring myself or somebody else's speech, I would probably do that. But I feel like if it's just the sound effects, I don't want to wear in-ear monitors only for the sound effects. Okay, I see some more questions in here. Mark says, when you shoot with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema, are you baking in the LUT or do you color correct in post or just add a LUT in post? A little bit of everything. So this is the Pocket 4K right now that you're seeing me through, and it has a LUT loaded in because it's streaming. So that's baked in. Honestly, I don't like fiddling with this stuff in post. And I try to not. I just try to make it look good first try, and that's just it. So I have done many of my YouTube videos where I record to a USB drive on that camera and record it not baked in and add the LUT in post and color correct in post. And it's just more trouble than I like to deal with. And lately what I've been doing, and I'm still in the middle of this video about it, is running, essentially not recording in the camera at all, recording using the ATEM Mini Extreme. So I'll use the ATEM Mini Extreme to record all 8 channels, not doing live switching, just to record all 8 that are synced. And in that case, obviously, I need the LUT baked in. I guess not obviously. I prefer to have the LUT baked in so that the recording that it makes does not need correction later. So that's the deal there. Oh, Adam says, Mix Effect has a delete all macros option in the switcher settings section. Thank you for doing that. What a delightful feature that Blackmagic should clearly add to their own software. Yes, if you're using Mix Effect on an iPad, then you can go into the switcher settings and delete all the macros, which is very useful. Philip says, we bought a Television Studio Pro shortly before they announced the ATEM Extremes, because we need more than 4 inputs. Yep. If I was buying today, I would definitely buy an Extreme instead. I agree. I think the Extreme is the much more obvious solution for, or clearer decision over that larger 4K, unless of course you need 4K because it doesn't do 4K, but most people don't need 4K. Roland says, when I upgraded to the Extreme, I didn't realize that both ports 1 and 2 are special. I'll put my ACAM on port 2. Should I move it to another port? No, if it's working, it's fine. Like the special thing about ports 1 and 2 is that they can output with no latency out HDMI 1 and 2, which is what you want if you're doing like gaming. So you can plug in a computer into your HDMI 1 or 2 and get a monitor out for looking at your computer with no latency. And that requires a different chip than are on the rest of them. So what that ends up meaning, if you don't care about that, is like I don't ever use my ATEM in that pass-through mode. So I don't really care about the fact that it is different. However, the fact that it is a different chip on both 1 and 2 means that sometimes certain devices like cameras or computers have trouble with one or the other. And if it's working, it's working. But if you're seeing like, why doesn't the picture show up, or why does it look green when I plug this in? Try whatever one it's not plugged into. So if you're seeing a bad picture in input 2, try it on input 3. If you're seeing a bad picture on 3, try it in 2, because they are different receiver chips. You're the first person I've heard who uses steganography for contest giveaway purposes. Excellent. Carl says, what's a good source to find out about networking ATEMs to iPads? I believe Photo Joseph has a video about this very recently. Yes, 2 weeks ago. He has a video about ATEM Mini tips, how to connect ATEM Mini to your network, which I believe goes over all of the things you would need to know. So I will just drop a link to that video to answer that. Have you set up buttons on the Stream Deck to type comments like email addresses, website, or are you just a very fast typer? I'm just a very fast typer. I keep thinking about it. I keep thinking about like giving myself buttons to drop in, I don't know, like drop in some links that I usually mention or something. I have to rig it up to the YouTube API, which is always a nightmare to deal with, so we'll see. Chris says, oh, HDMI 1 and 2 work well if you're doing iMac. That's a good point. So if you are feeding a room with like a large TV or projector in the room, then that is a good option to use as well. But obviously that is limited to, it's just pass through. So, you know, whatever's like, if you have a computer screen, plugged in for mixing someone's slides into a stream, and you are not like at the end of the chain, you're actually feeding the projector in the room, then you can switch. You can use HDMI 2 for that and output to the projector. I will say, I feel like for slides, it doesn't need to be so real time that the extra tiny bit of latency matters, and it's better to use to not use the pass-through, so you can switch between showing like a still graphic or someone's slides. If you're doing actual like large version of a camera in the room, which I've never done that because I've never done an event that's in a room big enough that needs that. I don't know. It would be like the same kind of deal. Like the problem with that is that you're limited to that fixed camera. So as long as it's okay that like one of your cameras is the one that's on that big screen over there, then yeah, you can use the pass through. But I prefer to be able to like control what's showing on screens in the room. Peter asks, is there a way to lower the streaming bitrate while streaming? Is there a way to do that with companion mix effect? Maybe not while streaming. I don't think so. So if you look at the streaming control, let's see if this is going to work. I'm not actually streaming from my ISO right now. So as soon as I press on air, it disables it, even if it wasn't flashing at me because I don't have a stream key in there. But I don't think it can change it while it's streaming. So you have to go and I think because it's disabled, I don't even think a companion command would work to change it. I think that it is meant to be disabled. So no, you would have to stop and start again. But that's actually one of the reasons to not use the auto start in YouTube. So in YouTube, you have auto start and auto stop. And I don't like having those on because what it means is that if I wanted to, I could turn off my encoder right now and then turn it back on really quick. And you'll see like a 3-second gap. Your stream will pause for a little bit, but the playback will be smooth and the stream won't stop. But if I had auto start or auto stop turned on, there's a risk of it actually ending the event. And once the event is over on YouTube, you can't get it back. Roland says, I strongly concur with your wet mix approach to avoid post-processing. S-Cinetone on Sony cameras, which support it, is really good for this kind of one-and-done approach. Cool. I don't actually know what my Sony... This is the Sony camera that I'm using as the overhead one. I don't actually know what it is set to right now. But yeah, I don't know. I could do all the post-processing work, but I just don't like it. So... Bailey asks, do you think the Blackmagic will ever allow you to select individual inputs to ISO record? Oh, instead of recording everything? I don't know, it seems like they would, but if it isn't really a problem, like you're gonna need a big enough hard drive anyway. And I just like, if I have either just nothing on one of the inputs, or if one of the inputs is, I'm never gonna need it in the edit, I'll just delete the file right after I am done recording. On the ATEM Mini, I'm getting a hum on audio port 1 and 2 when only needing one audio input. So I plug in an empty audio cable into the other input port. The hum is gone. I've never heard of that. That is super weird. Wait, so you're getting a hum on both audio ports, but when you plug in an empty audio cable, it goes away? That sounds weird. Analog audio is really weird. Sometimes these little cables act like antennas, and weird things can happen, but I mean, you should be able to mute the channel to remove the hum if you really don't need two channels. But also you can, one of the things that might be causing you issues is the settings in the audio. So the options between line and microphone with plug-in power. So double check that those are set properly, because that can also cause issues if they're not set right. Okay. Oh, Bailey says, what's the largest in-person event you've done? Was it very different from some of the smaller events? Very, very different. I think what's the largest? Probably the one that I did the video about, actually. Which was a while ago now, but I'm trying to find, do I have a shot of the room? It's this one where I went over that whole kit. This was setting up. This wasn't the biggest venue, but I think this may have been the most people. Actually, no, that's not true. The other room is bigger. Okay, so this was, I'm just looking for like, did I ever show the event while it was running? No, I don't think I did. The bigger room that I did was right the docks at no, I don't remember the venue. Portland. This room is way bigger. Virtual, no. 2018, 2019, 2019, I think. Yeah, this looks right. So this should give you an idea of the room. Yeah, there we go. That's the room. That was one actually where I did a little lightning talk during it too, and talked about the setup. But when you have this many people in the room, there's a lot of differences than like a smaller event of like 40 people. I was feeding this projector in this case, so I like to have control over it when I'm doing that, so that I can show break screens, sponsor logos, and when people are plugging in their laptops at the podium, it really bothers me when you see the screen like flicker and like, you know, blue and while I'm pulling it out, and then it like changes screen resolutions as it's figuring out. I hate that, and it's like flashing lights in the dark room. So they have a confidence monitor up here that is the computer plugs into the decimator converter, which turns it into SDI, but there's an HDMI out on it, which feeds that monitor. So they're seeing whatever they're plugging in and like the flickering and all that. But then it runs with a long SDI cable around the room back to my video booth. And then I can, when ready, show what's on that screen. So like, it looks like this was the intro. So I don't remember if probably at the end of it was the switching back to like nope. But yeah, like, you know, as he's leaving the stage, he'll like yank the cord out, and I don't want the screen to just go black or blue. So as soon as I see someone reaching for their computer to take it off the podium, I will cut back to, you know, showing a logo up on there, so that it looks nicer for the audience. And I feel like this is, for this kind of thing, like it's way more important when the room is like this big and there's this much production behind it. I feel like you can kind of get away with maybe not doing that for a smaller event, because the people's expectations are different when there's only like 20 people there. So that's my thoughts on that. I think this was the biggest room and biggest number of people at that event that I've done. Why I wasn't looking in the chat. What else did I miss in here? Oh, Don says, thanks. I didn't think of checking line and mic. Cool. Check on that. And then also, yeah, mute the channel if you're not using it. Peter, thanks for clarifying this. I meant to mention this and I just forgot apparently. The recorded ISO files with black. So if you have only some of your inputs in use on the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO and you're recording all 8, the ones that are black, if they're not in use, the files will be super tiny. So you don't really like waste space by having those up. So it's not really a problem. Yeah. Thanks for the tip about the Hollyland to pick up presenters HDMI wirelessly. Yep. How is the delay with the higher models? Thinking putting one on my Blackmagic camera instead of using SDI. So there is a delay. It is very minimal, and it's certainly acceptable for slides off of a computer because those don't need to be perfectly in sync. You obviously do need lip sync for video. So if you are going to be using it for like this kind of thing where it's like your main shot and the person is clearly visible on the screen and you can hear them, you can run this like that video signal wirelessly, but you'll have to adjust the audio to match. You will have to do that. And you can do that with like the mixer or other things, or in the ATEM if you're running over the analog input. Or if you have the opportunity to feed the audio into that camera, then it comes in sync on a delay and it's fine. I tend to, when I'm doing these kinds of events, so like for this one, this was my wide shot, and then I have a second camera next to me that is super zoomed in to get a close-up of the person. Let's see if I have that here. I may not have put it into this one, but I have it in one of the actual talks. Yeah, so lighting was not good on that stage, which is another problem. But this was the camera I was using to like chase people around the stage, right? Of like showing the close-up of them. And I would switch to this one. For this, in this particular event, I had the two cameras next to me, mainly because I didn't want to run that many cables. I actually have done another event at the same venue in the past, and I don't remember which one it was to pull it up. But the for the other time I've done a event in this venue, I've actually run a cable up to, there's like a balcony that looks like straight down at that screen. And I've run a really long cable up there to get like an overhead view of the crowd, which looks super cool. It's not this event, so it may have been their one from 2018. If I can't find it, then oh yeah, funny story about this event. John Barker has done their event in Prague in the past, so we didn't even know each other at the time. But this was, I'm assuming this is John's work in this one. But let me see if I did it in this one. Is that the same? Is that the top down? No, that's the same angle. Yeah, it may have been a different event that was at the same venue, but the point I'm making here is when your angle is this wide, even if the person is visible, you can't see their lips move. So you don't need the audio to be in sync perfectly. It needs to be mostly in sync. Like you can't get away with a half-second delay, but for the like 100 millisecond or whatever at the worst for these HDMI transmitters, it's actually fine. And this, I've always done cable cameras because I didn't have those good wireless transmitters when I was doing these. But probably, honestly, what I would do now is keep the one next to me for the close-up shot wired, because I want that one in sync because it's going to be a closer angle. But for the wide angle, I actually would like it to be even farther away from me and like high up, and I would totally use a wireless camera for that. So that one I would throw up on the balcony, have it get the nice overhead view of the whole crowd, and it does not need to be perfectly in sync because you can't see people's faces, so you can't actually tell that it's out of sync. That is the trick. Any follow-ups on that? Okay, troubleshooting the audio issues. Okay, follow-up from Adam. Mix effect can't change the streaming bitrate while streaming. I don't think the ATEM allows it. Yeah, that is my suspicion. Cannot change the streaming while it is live. Here's a question. For anyone who frequently uses the same snippets of text, HTML, or images, consider the advanced, highly configurable, programmable clipboard manager. Copy Q. It's cross-platform, open source, and free. Oh, not a question. A suggestion. Thank you. Cool. Yeah. I should probably get one of those. I use a very small app called Flycut, and it's got stream keys in it, so I can't show you what it looks like right now. But I don't think it syncs across computers, but what I use it for is clipboard history, and it's like super lightweight. It just gets the job done. I like it a lot. Oh, it does iCloud sync. Interesting. I haven't even thought to try it when I'm using two computers at the same time. But yeah, so I can like quickly copy 2 or 3 things out of a document and then switch between them. Yeah, I think there's no stream keys in this. So I go launch it like this, and then I can go back, and find the URLs that I copied, and then get back to one of those, which is super handy. I like it because it just has almost no features. But I'll check out CopyQ. It sounds cool. The other one is just a lot of times I will actually copy and paste stuff between my iPhone and a computer using Apple's thing of just like, it just most of the time works of like, if I copy something on my computer and then I go into my phone, I can click paste and it goes. And there's no apps to run. It's just magic. When it doesn't work, it's very annoying. Philip says, any updates on how your simplified mini studio at your office is going? Is everything working as you intended, or have you had to adjust the setup after seeing how people have been using it? Oh, yeah, good question. I haven't actually followed up with them in a while on that. I know people have been using it for stuff, so I should check in on that. That is up at the Auth0 office in Bellevue. Bailey says, do you think PTZ cameras could completely eliminate camera operators for events? No, not at all. The PTZ cameras require an operator, first of all. I don't think I could control a PTZ camera and also do all the mixing, at least not well. The big thing that you are not going to get with the PTZ camera compared to someone running a camera is if people are really wandery around stage and you need to follow them. It's going to be a nightmare to try to do it with the PTZ. But like actually holding a camera and moving it is a lot easier. AtomX says, I have to buy an ATEM Mini now or similar hardware. Should I wait for more AtomX cast reviews? I don't have a Ninja V at the moment. If you have to buy something similar now, then the big question about whether the AtomX is going to be what you want is, again, it is more similar to the original ATEM Mini and like that whole style of just switchers compared to the YoloBox or the ATEM Mini Pro, which can also record to drives and stream. The AtomX obviously can record itself because it is built into a recorder, but it does not have a streaming thing. It has a USB out to plug into a computer. So if you want to actually go from a device to YouTube, you need something in addition to the AtomX also. So add that on top of the price of that. If you only care about recording, then the AtomX is going to give you the highest quality recordings compared to all of the different options. The ATEM Mini Pro will record in the H.264 compressed. You can get up to 70 megabit, I believe, 70 megabit files out of it, but it is not anything like the ProRes recordings. In my opinion, it's still good enough for most things, and like my recent YouTube videos are recorded in that format, and then I edit them, and I think it's fine. But if you are really picky about the quality of the recording, then the AtomX is the way to get that. Of course, if you do have the ATEM Mini Pro or the Extreme and you're doing streaming and you want that good recording, you can use one of the HDMI outs into an AtomX recorder or any other HDMI recorder. But definitely let us know more about what your intention is for using that. It looks like there was a little bit of a discussion in the chat about that. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, I see a lot of chat. So if you do have questions, make sure you put the Q in front. Oops. Make sure you put the Q in front so that I see it on my other side of the screen, like this one. In Friday's surprise session, we referred to the Magewell Pro Convert H.260X to SDI. why are you using the SDI version and not HDMI? Oh, good question. Because most of my studio is based around SDI. So I have, I went over this in the studio tour video I did recently, but yeah, I use the ATEM Mini Extreme for mixing the show, which is all HDMI. But I have these two sets. I have like this one and my other desk, and they're, I don't know, 8 feet away from each other. But the cables need to end up being even longer than that because of the up and down and curving. And that's too long for HDMI to go reliably. So the other thing I want is I like being able to reassign inputs that are going to my devices. So for example, I can show you the multi-view of my ATEM Mini Extreme that's doing this show. And you can see I don't have anything active right now on 4 and 6, but I do have the ability on 4 to reroute what goes into that. So I can say, like right now, it's I think it's one of those encoders actually. It's plugged into it, but I can actually say, oh, I'm going to switch what goes into that input, and I want it to actually be a camera. So I have this other camera over here pointing at the desk. I'm not sitting there right now, but that's what I show you when I show you that. And that is essentially like me unplugging the cable out of input 4 and plugging a different one back in, but I can do it by pressing buttons on my iPad because it's all running through an SDI router. And the SDI router has 20 inputs and 20 outputs, and any of the inputs can be assigned to any of the outputs. So it's super flexible for being able to virtually rewire the studio. And basically every screen in here is set up like that. So if you actually look at my desk, if you look at the desk, most of those screens are also in the router. So like I can go and say, I'm just sitting here on my iPad doing this. My little smart view with the dual screen thing. Let's say I actually want the multi-view down there instead. And then instead of on the left monitor, I don't want it to be the multi-view. I want it to be my second computer screen. And now I can, that one takes a while to sync, but now I've got, I can drag this window over there if I want. And maybe I do want it back to the multi-view instead. So that is me essentially unplugging and replugging in cables, and that works way better over SDI than it does over HDMI. It's just going to be a lot flakier doing that over HDMI. So I've essentially built everything around SDI in the studio. So anytime I have an HDMI source or destination, like a monitor or a camera, I have to convert it. So I've got tons of these converters all over the place. I've got a box full of them down there. I've got a stand full of them behind that monitor. And that is, I would rather not have those, if that makes sense. But I have to because I have all this HDMI stuff. So anytime I can, I will get an SDI option if it's available. So when I saw that Magewell converter, it has an SDI version, and that means I can plug it directly into the matrix. So I don't need to run it through a converter into the matrix. And that's so that I can, quickly route it into one of the inputs in my ATEM and not have to oh, thanks for the super chat, Garage 350. My idea would be to transmit with mobile internet and then use the 4K content to upload to YouTube. Oh, was this a follow-up to something? Cool. Yeah, no, that's totally doable. By the way, it's no longer possible to subscribe to the giveaway. Correct. The giveaway has ended officially. We drew the winner. Oh my gosh. Almost an hour ago. So yeah, the giveaway is done. Sorry. But you can still buy your YoloBox and email me the receipt and get a free stand. That is still going on. I don't think those have all been claimed yet. So yeah, you were talking about transmitting with mobile internet and using the 4K content to upload to YouTube. So if you do actually want 4K content, then you're going to need something that is not the ATEM Mini Extreme because it does not do 4K. So either recording 4K in all your cameras and mixing everything later, or getting a 4K switcher, which is just going to be bigger and more expensive. Randy, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the good information. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you all. This is great. But yeah, the just scrolling back up to see if there was another part of that question. No. Cool. So yeah. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. Oh, how do you power all the converters? So I have these. Let me grab the link to this because do I have? Yeah. So I use these Anker USB chargers. USB, not chargers. What do you call them? Power brick. And they have like 10 ports. So I have 2 of these behind. Oh my gosh, I have 2 of these behind the monitor to power all the different USB devices back there. And then I have one of them in the box down below. And they're not that expensive. They're not the they're all regular USB. They're not like the quick charge or maybe they are quick charge. They're not the USB-C power delivery. So they're only for like the 5-volt stuff. But it's perfect for powering all those converters. And this one in particular does 60 watts total. So it actually powers all of those fully. Some of the cheaper ones, do not buy them. The cheaper ones will end up with like, it'll be like 2.4 amps, but only 1 port. Or as soon as you plug in 5 things, they all drop down to like half an amp each. And that's not useful. Cool. Okay. Oh, there's the other part of the question. I just finished a mentorship where I used many of your videos to set up my setup. Thank you very much for the content. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat again. And my question, I have a project to make transmissions from a trailer. How can I do it when I don't have fast internet? If you need to get to the internet and get a good stream on the internet, you're going to need fast internet. You can try dropping your bitrate down to as low as possible, but you're obviously going to lose quality. So you can try that. And you can get away with not the best internet that way, but again, at the cost of quality. But yeah, you do need a solid internet connection to have a good stream. My phone's LTE, this is actually before I got the 5G one, the LTE was fine in most times that I've used it. Obviously, except for the one in New York, which was a bit of a disaster, but it's because I was doing inappropriate things with it. If you're in a fixed location and you can check the signal ahead of time, you'll have much better luck. Bailey asks, do you convert the HDMI out from your cameras to SDI, then convert back to HDMI to go into the ATEM, or do some of your cameras have SDI? I don't think I have any SDI cameras. The Lumix, what is the BGH1? That one is SDI, right? I don't have it yet, but I keep thinking about getting it. The box camera, and it is that one? Yes. That is the box camera that is like basically just the size of putting a lens on front. And I've been interested in this one. I haven't bought it yet, but this one does have SDI out, which would be the only SDI camera I would have. Also has network, which is cool. So you can run control apps and stuff over the network. But no, all of my cameras are HDMI, and they all actually run into the matrix, not into the ATEM. So there's, yeah, they all run into the matrix. So I can send a copy, for example. That's actually what I'm doing right now. So you're looking at the Pocket 4K through the matrix into the ATEM. But when I switch over to this camera, notice how my Pocket 4K picture is in this device also, because a copy of it is coming out here as well. So it's the Pocket 4K camera into the matrix out 2 of the ports. One of the ports going into the ATEM and one going into the YoloBox. And what that means is I can I can have copies of cameras going in here. Like I even have a copy of the close-up camera going into the YoloBox as well. And those are the two inputs. They're actually coming out of the matrix, not from those cameras, obviously. And if I wanted to have a confidence monitor of myself, I could put that on a screen in here as well. I do this for my computers too. So if you look at the, you can kind of see this monitor back here is how I'm looking at my computer right now. Let's see if I zoom this out, we'll show you what this looks like right here. This is what I'm looking at right now. Oops, that's not straight. There we go. Oh my gosh, I can't adjust the camera. There we go. So what is in focus? Let's make that one in focus. This is the multi-view of my ATEM, but obviously you saw the multi-view also on my desk. So again, same thing, right? It's the output is going out of the ATEM into the matrix and then to two screens because I want it over here, but I also want it at my desk. And then this screen in front of me is my computer, which you can see a copy of it's also being sent to the ATEM so I can show it to you. And it's showing up on my computer monitor over at the desk as well. And it's on the right screen. So I get, multiple copies of my different inputs and outputs all over the place so I can show you what's on them. Like when I'm, oh, Felicia, thank you for the super chat. So thanks for reminding me. No, you did not miss it. I have not talked yet about streaming stuff, but we're well into the time segment that I was going to, so I will do that next. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, when I want to show you my computer screen, I need it to go into my ATEM, but then I also want to see it myself. So that's why I'm using all this fancy SDI routing stuff. And most people don't need that. I said this in my studio tour video. Most people don't need that, but because what I'm doing is showing you about how this stuff works, I do need to be able to put something into the YoloBox and stream from it, but also show that on the stream. So I do have all these different copies of the signals around. Okay, yeah, Eric says, I like you can copy and duplicate outputs on the switcher. It's incredibly useful. It is very, very useful. It is not, it's not like it's any of the inputs can go to any of the outputs. It's not limited to just like wiring, which is kind of cool. Bailey says, maybe you can pop into Photo Joseph's studio like you did for Halloween and borrow one of his box cameras. Yeah, he has like 6 of them. It's outrageous. I love it. I want that many of them, but they're very expensive cameras. So I don't know. We'll see if we'll see what I buy next. I've got a couple of things on my shopping list. We'll see. Oh, here's a question about the YoloBox. Does it work with Zoom? If not, can they add compatibility? It does not right now. In order to use it with Zoom, you'd have to go out the HDMI port into a capture card, which is not ideal. They are working on adding USB-C webcam out into the YoloBox itself. It's not out yet. It does not exist yet. So I don't have any idea when that will happen, but they are working on it. And then you'll be able to plug it into a computer and it would then work exactly like the ATEM, I guess. I don't know what it is, and 2 hours later, you might as well make 2 hours show your standard. Apparently. Can we power them with Magewell SMPs? I assume this is about the converters. What is a... Oh, those little power supplies. I have one of those for my lights. I forgot that company name. That's funny. That should work. Yeah. So there's some of these that are like, some of these are like 5 volts. Some of them are 12 volts. So double check what you're getting. But these little bricks that have all the different DC outputs. I don't know if I would recommend doing this for like a desk setup, but if you're trying to build it into a case, these are useful because you can get versions of them that have as many watts as you want. Like some of them are rated up to 1500 watts, which is ridiculous. And then they give you all these little screw terminals that you can attach power cords to. It's a lot of wiring to do, so as long as you don't mind wiring, definitely doable. But I have one up in the box on my ceiling that powers the LED strip lights. Thank you for the nice and detailed explanation of how and why I use SDI. We'll look up a studio tour video. Thanks. Yeah, please do. I had a lot of fun putting that one together. It should be relatively recent in the list of videos on my channel. Had to step out. Did I miss the stand giveaway? You did. Sorry. It was now an hour ago. Okay, other questions before I switch over and talk about streaming from these little devices, because I do want to do that. If I connect a Blackmagic Studio camera to a smart video hub with the 2 of the SDI that requires, then the camera control, should both cables go to the matrix or one to the converter? Oh yeah, if you do want the bidirectional, if you do want the camera control to also go through the matrix, it's gonna, I guess you could route one not through the matrix and route it, this sort of bypasses the matrix, but if you wanted to be able to like switch what's going into the ATEM and have the ATEM know about which camera it's controlling, you would need 2 in and 2 out on both ends, and 2 through the matrix as well, which is a lot. So I end up not using the camera control. I have only one Blackmagic camera. It's this one that you're looking at me through, and I control it from my phone mostly. So that's the Bluetooth app on the phone can do like focus and change the color, the focus peaking and changing the focus depth and all that stuff. So that's how I end up controlling that camera, not through the ATEM software control. I think it would eat up too many things on the matrix. Philip says, I am still hopeful that Blackmagic will release an SDI switcher one of these days with all the ATEM extremes. Absolutely. I think that is coming. I still think that's coming. I use a 7-port active USB hub that delivers enough power, and I'm also able to update all the converters. That's a cool idea too. Yeah. Those are, I feel like, sometimes even harder to track down than good just power bricks though. Can you hardwire the YoloBox Pro to an iPhone for streaming? Ooh, I don't think so. Because there's Ethernet, but I don't think the Ethernet adapters for phones let you share the internet connection through the Ethernet. I could be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure they don't let you do that. And then it doesn't work over USB like it does on the ATEM. That would be a good feature for them, but it doesn't do that right now. What you can do though is take your SIM card out of your phone and put it into the YoloBox. Bailey, see you later. Thanks for joining. Okay. If I am live on the YOLO and I have a driver on the road with only his phone, it's possible to bring him into the stream, say split screen with only his phone. Yes. The trick is, let's see. The trick is what app to use on the phone. So Zoom can work on the phone. It might actually be the best option if they are driving because Zoom handles bad internet connections very well. The downside is on your receiving end, it's fussy to deal with. The other one is video.ninja. And that website is, I think I've talked a little bit about it before. I think I talked about it in one of my remote guest videos. But basically, it's like a tool specifically for doing bringing remote people into feeds. And you can open that link on a phone, and it works reasonably well. So you can send the person a video.ninja, that's video.ninja link, and they can open it on their phone and stream into your little box that you could bring into the YoloBox. You'll need a computer for that. to plug a computer out into the YoloBox to get that video feed. That would work. It should work. And then for the split screen, you would need to do, you could use this, this one. Yeah, so one person there, and then you can choose your border thickness if you want a gap or not. You can even make it slanted if you want, which is kind of fun. So that is what you would have the computer screen plugged in here instead of my other camera. I can do that because this is not a camera. This is matrix. So for example, I could, which one is that plugged into? Oh, bumped that camera. That one is G. So if I go change that to my computer screen, there it goes. It takes a minute. So that is my second computer screen, and I can, oops, what happened? Oh, it's resyncing. There we go. So here's the split view, and then like if I take my window, I can drag it over there, right? So what I could do is take a video.ninja room. I can go, make a room, test, don't actually use test, but then I can take this scene, open it up in another window, move it to my other screen, and make it full screen. Do I have that? Where is that? Where did that screen go? I lost it. It was on my smart view over there. Make it full screen. There we go. And then if somebody pops in, let's see, I can pop into my phone. So where's the guest link? Speaking of copy and paste, I should be able to paste this link from my computer to my phone. Yep. And then join the room from my phone. Allow front camera, start, and sure enough, uh-oh, feedback. Okay, there we go. Sure enough, there is myself, and I can add myself to that scene. And what that does is I am now in the YoloBox on this other input. So that's my computer screen plugged in here, and this is the side-by-side view. So if let me edit this to make it look a little bit nicer. Let's say, let's do this. Let's make it straight, and then since my phone is skinny like that, cool. So then let's go and make that full screen, and then actually switch over to it. So this is this is camera on the right is my phone connected over the internet to video.ninja, and then the picture that you're seeing on the screen, so you can see the delay, it's actually reasonable. The picture you're seeing on the screen is the full screen browser on my computer, and that is an interview. This does not have to be me over here, obviously. It would work just as well with somebody else joining. And then audio, let's see. I think this is the one that we're waiting for a fix. So on the audio side, the audio on the YoloBox is coming in on, yeah, this is the problem right now. So audio is set to line input, but I need audio from both HDMI 1 and 2 because I'm here and the guest is there. And right now you have to change, you can only change it. You can't turn them both on. So what I would need is, I need them to finish this update, which they're in the middle of, and I know they're working on it, to be able to actually turn on both audio sources and mix them that way. So that's the part that's missing. In order to actually do this right now, you would have to run your audio separately into a mixer. So run your camera audio into a mixer, run your computer audio into a mixer, and bring it in over line input. That's how you have to do it right now until they can mix two audio sources on the YoloBox. But it is pretty cool. and video.ninja is kind of magic. That's the trick there. Cool. Hang up. There we go. Fun little live demo. Excellent. Yeah. Oh, tried to link to a video, but I think it dropped the link because it doesn't let people drop links into the chat. Let me try to find that for you. The studio tour video. Oh, it is hard to find. It was a while ago, and I don't have it sorted well on my channel. My channel is showing the streaming gear playlist, popular uploads, weekly live streams, how to, and it's not in any of those. So we'll just search for studio tour. There it is. That camera angle is much lower than I have it now. It's interesting. Here is that link, studio tour video. Eric says, I love the live demo. Great end-to-end step-wise working through the problem. Yeah, cool. That was fun. Okay, so let's switch gears and talk about these little cameras, because I do want to talk about these. Yes. Okay. So I do want to talk about these little DJI Action Lumix GH5 II. And I brought a couple others here as well. I have the Insta360, we can try that. And then I have the GoPro, which should be charged now. And one of the things that I am curious to show live, in particular why I want to do this on a live stream instead of edited, is because these all claim to have RTMP streaming features built in, which is super useful. And you can stream into like the little Magewell decoder that I have here. But I feel like the thing that's missing in a lot of the videos that I see about these is somebody actually walking through all of the steps it takes. Because it's one thing to like show it streaming after it's done, but it's another thing to like, what does it take to set up? And more importantly, what does it take to, when you're actually out somewhere, turn it on and get it running? So that's kind of what I want to show. The one slightly different, I don't want to say unrealistic, but maybe unrealistic is the right word. The biggest problem in all of these is always going to be the internet connection, getting the device on the internet. And the interfaces for these are often really annoying to use. Like for this camera, you can type the Wi-Fi password in on the screen. You have to use the little T9 style, like press the letter 3 times to get a C kind of interface. On the ones that have phone apps, you can sometimes copy and paste things on your phone to configure them. The problem is that most of these are also not going to work with Wi-Fi that has a captive portal. So if it asks you to log in after you connect, they're not going to work. So for any time I'm going to be doing that out somewhere, I'm almost certainly going to be bringing a travel router with me. And the reason for that is because I can control what Wi-Fi name and passwords on that router. I give it internet somehow, either over LTE, plugging in an Ethernet, or connecting it to Wi-Fi. But basically it means that I have my own little network. So that I'm going to assume is done. I'm not going to set that up today. I'm not going to use one today. I'm going to use the Wi-Fi in my building. And I just wanted to point that out because it should be approximately the same as when I go somewhere else. Because when I go somewhere else, the first thing I'm going to do is turn on my travel router. It publishes a known Wi-Fi name that I've already set up ahead of time. And I can actually load that into the camera ahead of time as well. So that's the setup that I'm not going to be doing live. What I do want to do live is actually turning these things on and getting them streaming into my decoder. So I have a I have the Magewell Pro Convert set up. It's on input 6, and I can stream to it from the internet. So to go through these cameras and set them all up, and see how they work. So let me see. I want to make sure you can see the screens on these cameras, and I think I'm going to move the YoloBox out of the way to be able to show you that angle. Yes. Okay. So here is the camera. Cancel that. Streaming functions turned off. Can you see that? It looks dim for some reason. I feel like this screen is dimmer than it normally was. Is there a brightness? Monitor display. I want it really bright. That's weird. Maybe what I could do is plug in the HDMI of this, because this camera actually does have HDMI, which means I can show you it on the stream. So that is going to, ironically, I need to turn the menu on now. I normally have it off. Oh, now it's bright. That's interesting. Now you can actually read it. Well, still, now that I've gone this far, we're going to go into the HDMI menu and nope, still learning how to use this camera. That's weird. Can I not change it while it's plugged in? Output resolution. I want the info display so you can actually see this camera. That's super weird. HDMI, monitor display. Okay, this is not going well. Who knows where that setting is? Where do I turn off clean HDMI out? It's like the one time I want clean HDMI. Aha, there it is. Info display on. Okay, now if I plug this in, you can actually see the camera. Okay, so that's what the camera's seeing. And now you get the menus. So what I can show you is what it looks like to actually set up streaming on this and connect it to Wi-Fi. So somewhere in here is a setting called Wi-Fi. And there's a section here called streaming setup. And this is the first step. So the first step is configuring the streaming address. And there's a couple ways to do it. You can do it from the computer, where you can actually write onto the SD card the settings on a little app and then load it from the camera. So here's 2 addresses I've saved. There is a way to actually type it in as well. So you can type it in here. And now I have to change my stream key after this demo. Thanks. But that is not the most friendly interface, obviously. So I did do it ahead of time by setting up the SD card. But like I said, this is not something I'm going to change when I'm out, right? This is something that I'm going to do once and then do that once during setup, and then it's ready to go. The Wi-Fi connection settings, same thing. It's going to go and I'm going to connect it to my studio. And when I am ready to change to the travel router, I'll change it there. So that's all sort of like ahead of time. And I can do that here, prep everything, and then later when I'm ready to actually like go out, I don't need to fiddle with the settings again. So I've done those. Let me go and go into the encoder to make sure it's got the right setting. The encoder is set to the Lumix, yeah. So now, when I'm ready to actually turn on streaming, this is what I do in the field. So I go into the Wi-Fi menu, which is really hard to find, so I did make a shortcut to it. That's why it's over here on this page 1 of my shortcuts. Go into the Wi-Fi, go into the streaming setup, and you turn it on. And what that does is preps everything. It preps the camera, connects to Wi-Fi. Now you get the nice black screen of the camera, but it's connecting to Wi-Fi. Whatever was pre-configured, which would, when I'm traveling, would be my travel router. And then once it is connected, you can kind of see it. There's this little blue icon up here. And interestingly, it is, oh, there it is. Okay. So you can see it on the screen. It's up in the top corner. It's right up there. That's really hard to point to. Giant finger. So now it's ready and it is connected to my Wi-Fi. So to start streaming, I actually now press the record button. And instead of recording, it's going to stream. So I'll press the record button and then you'll see it switches to that little icon changed and it's now got little antennas coming out of it. And the stream is showing up on my multi-view. So here you can see, I should rename my inputs now that it's wrong. The input is not the YoloBox anymore. We're going to call 8 is, what are we going to call it? Desk cable. Okay. That's just the cable running onto my desk. So that is, that one on the right is the actual HDMI out of the camera, which is why you're seeing the overlays and stuff. The one on in 6 is the RTMP feed. So this is where we can look at the delay. And it's ridiculous. I don't know. I still don't understand why it's basically non-existent. The RTMP feed is pretty much in sync. I can see it just tiniest bit of delayed. So that is, that's what it took to get this camera up on the stream, right? Pre-configure everything, and then notice that I did not have to use an app. And this is a really important one to me. I did not have to go into my phone and fiddle with any settings. I was able to load up all the settings ahead of time on the camera, Wi-Fi and stream key, put those into the camera, save them, and then when I'm ready to go live, using the camera, I can just turn it all on. So I think that's notable. Plus the quality is great because this is a nice camera and has a good lens, and you can see very clearly the quality coming out of that, even though it's over RTMP. So, okay, that is the GH5 II. That is a very, very nice camera. Well done. I'm very pleased with that. So, any questions about the GH5? What do you think of the GH5 Mark II? I'm pretty committed to Sony, but a lot of folks seem to really swear by the Lumixes. I really do like the Lumixes. I think they are great. Obviously, the autofocus is not as good as the Sonys, but I like them a lot. They're solid. I like the menu system in this. This has been doing very well. Yes, it is a huge camera. It is a regular full-size camera. It's not small. I think it's about the same. It looks like it's a little bit wider than the A6400. And definitely deeper as well. Okay, so that's the GH5 II. I'm pretty pleased with what that took to set up. I'm gonna unplug that camera, turn off RTMP, and switch over to a different camera. Let's take a look at the Action 2. So this camera, first of all, is just a super cool camera. Oh, you know what I should do is drop the link to this camera in here so that I can find the timestamp later. Here we go. So this is the DJI Action 2. Oops, that's the screen. there's two parts to it. This is the kit that comes with the extra screen. So the first part is the camera. The camera itself is tiny. It's this little thing that I can completely enclose in my hand, which is useful to be able to just put it into a pocket and pull it out whenever I want. The screen on the back is what you would use for like your normal, like I'm filming something, I can see the screen on the back. Cool. This piece is a separate piece that you can get that is just a screen and extra battery and also has SD card slot. It has built-in memory, so it only records the built-in memory. If you want to record to SD card, you have to have this piece. They clip on. So clips on, like it just kind of grabs itself with a magnet. And this gives you a front screen. And that's for selfie camera. So the front screen is, now you can see that A6400 up there on the front screen. It's for selfie camera, but it's also so that like, you know, you got the SD card slot on the back to record into that now. So setting this one up, let's see, where I can't obviously show the HDMI. There's no HDMI on this, so I can't show you that screen. So I'll have to just show you here. Let's get this in focus. There we go. So once you are once you're on the front screen, you can like go through all the menus and stuff. There is a let's see, how do you get onto the Wi-Fi? So we need to do two things, right? Wi-Fi and stream key. So somewhere in here is a wireless setting. Wireless, nope, not that one. That's for connecting to it. Oh, it might be just in the, oh yeah, okay, right, of course. You can't do it from this. You have to do it from the phone. So we're gonna have to go into the phone and open up the Action DJI app. And for this one, let's see, I think I do want to share my phone, which means routing, rerouting input 4 to have the Apple TV. That way I can share my iPhone screen. So sharing my iPhone screen, and then, oh no, I can't do that. Right, I tried this yesterday, or Friday. I can't AirPlay and connect to the Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna have to use this cable again. There we go. Oops. I got logged out of the app. I don't know why I got logged out. So first downside, for example, I got logged out of the DJI app for some reason, even though I was logged in yesterday. So that's cool. First things first, this is the stuff that you don't see in YouTube demos. So, all right, where's my password manager? You're not going to get to see this, obviously. DJI account, copy. Let's go log in. Over here. Their password field, or their email field, it's not set to the email type, so it auto-capitalized my name, which is not how you do password dialogues. I have some opinions about password dialogues. You're supposed to set the field type to email so the phone does not do autocorrect. Okay. So, gonna go log in. Yeah, you don't see this in YouTube, but it happens on site at the gig every time. Exactly. I don't know why I got logged out. Okay, log in. Success. Home. There we go. Okay, now we're back. So, you know what I would like to do is this, but with myself next to it. Which means time for a little diversion of, oh, I already had it set up from last time. Cool. So, this is the app. It found the DJI device, so I connect. And we're going to join that. So this also, notice that my phone is now talking to the camera, which means my phone can't be doing anything else with the Wi-Fi. So it got kicked off of Wi-Fi. Now it's 5G. New firmware update available. That's also very common. And why am I not seeing the video? I should be seeing the picture. There it is. I don't know why it took so long. So now we're ready to set this up. So can I make the interface this way even though the picture is sideways? That was the wrong button. Device. Where is the setting for finding the stream? Oh, it's right over here. Scroll down to live stream. Built-in options, Facebook, YouTube, and RTMP. I don't know what Billy is. I'm going to choose RTMP. Start the live stream settings. And starting live stream settings may take a long time, it says. Cool. It is, in fact, taking a long time. Notice it did remember my Wi-Fi. So it remembers whatever last Wi-Fi I connected, which is good. And then here is my RTMP URL, which it also remembered. That's useful. So I can't, like when I'm remote somewhere, I'm not gonna have to re-enter this stuff probably, although I probably want to make sure I have the stream URL written down on a piece of paper so I can copy it in or in a notes app or something. But at least it did remember it. And when I click start, it is going to actually start. And that should actually start streaming. So let's see if that is true. Yeah, so the camera now says preparing to live stream. And where's my focus? The camera says, come on. Preparing to live stream. Oh, and now it says starting live stream failed. Okay. I have ants walking around this desk too, which is awesome. We're going to do it again. Start live stream. And hopefully this one works. Starting live stream failed. Okay. Is my stream key wrong? Let's see if that is the problem. That is this. It is. My stream key changed. Okay. So that's the problem. It is correct. Streaming did in fact fail. So I'm going to copy it from my computer and paste it into my phone. That worked. Start live stream. Oh, okay. Now it says it's in progress. Preview unavailable during live stream. Fine. And now if we look at the camera, it does show that it's live. So let's switch my RTMP receiver over. And sure enough, I'm seeing myself in the multi-view. So let's turn that off and go show you the multi-view. And now you're seeing the RTMP feed from the camera in number 6. This one has much more of a delay. I don't know why. You can see the delay is significant. So do I have a way to change the audio quickly? Oops, that wasn't the right button. Let's switch over to that audio just briefly so you can see it in real life. Maybe we turn off the effects on it. So this is super delayed, so it's gonna take me a second to catch up to me. And then, okay, so this is the feed from the DJI camera. Wow, I don't need to hold it that far away from me. Getting like, it's like a hand's distance away from me, and you get a picture like this. It's just super wide angle. So this is the actual feed from the camera over RTMP. It is very delayed, but it is working. So, okay, that's that. Let's switch back to my regular camera. So this is all it takes. You don't actually need the bottom piece on to be live, but it does give you extra battery. And I was able to stream. I tried this earlier, and I was able to stream for like an hour and a half with this battery on it, which is super cool. So okay, so this is live streaming. I can turn it off by pressing, oh yeah, pause. So I had to use my phone to set it up. The phone was required to configure the Wi-Fi and the stream key and RTMP URL into it. However, so my phone is showing live stream in progress. I can now turn off my phone. My phone does not need to be it's not actually part of the process. The camera is connected to Wi-Fi directly, not my phone. So I'm not going to press the end button, but I can just turn off my phone's Wi-Fi, for example, or like put it in airplane mode and quit the app. And the phone has nothing to do with this anymore, right? This is still streaming. I can still see the stream on the multi-view, and everything's working fine because this thing is talking over Wi-Fi to that device. Now, what I'm going to do is stop streaming. RTMP feed dropped. I really should have had my Sony camera over here today because I needed the autofocus. This is the Lumix camera with fixed focus. So, okay, streaming is off. I can turn this camera off, put it away. There's one more feature that I want to show on this. So I'll turn it back on. The other nice thing about this camera, it turns on super, super fast, way faster than a GoPro. Okay, now that the camera's on, there is a menu in here called Continue Last Live Stream. And if I press that button, it's going to show me the Wi-Fi and show me the RTMP URL that it was last configured with. And I can now start the stream from this device. Continue, connecting, connected, and in a second we should see the feed pop up on the multi-view in number 6. There it is. My phone has been off this whole time. So that's a unique feature of this compared to other ones that I've seen. I think that's actually really cool. The fact that I can actually start the stream from this device without having to use the phone. Can you unplug the screen? Yeah. Actually, I could have done the whole thing without the screen plugged in. So let's take a look again here. There's a screen on the back of the camera module, remember? So the same menu, swipe to unlock, same menu is here. So I can go into here. I can go choose the continue last live stream, same thing. The buttons, touch buttons. Again, you're seeing the problems with these devices. But yeah, you don't need the bottom part to stream. So it does work just fine with the camera module only. The bottom part does add a significant amount of battery life though, which is nice. So, okay, there's that. I like the fact that this thing can stream. It can connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot and start streaming by itself, nothing else needed. That is, again, unique. But as you can see, there are still some fiddly bits with that because first I had to use the phone. I had to be logged into a DJI account, which means I need internet for that on my phone. I don't know why I got logged out. And then the other part of this is the that continue last stream URL. I don't know how long it stays. I did try this already a while ago, a couple days ago, and I don't remember what the interval was, but it had forgotten it. It was like you have to go back into the app to configure it. So I don't know why I don't know how long it was before it like loses that, but I can't count on it, and I have to be ready to use my phone to configure it if I need to. Question: is the DJI Action mic that weak? The sound is horrible. It shouldn't have been that bad. Let me see. Oh, it is really low, and I think that is the. Why is it so low? Is there something about the? Oh, Axel, thank you for the super chat. Well, I don't know why I didn't hear it this time, but you heard it. So with underwater housing, can you live stream from underwater to YoloBox with Lumix or Blackmagic? Oh, gosh. I mean, with enough stuff, yeah. But I don't know, the water is going to do something nasty to the Wi-Fi signal, I feel like. The Lumix, because you don't need any extra stuff, and this can stream, you could put this in an underwater case. I don't think you're going to have a good time, because I think the water messes with the Wi-Fi signal. Somebody with actual experience in underwater filming, let me know what the situation is for Wi-Fi underwater. I don't think it's good. But otherwise, theoretically, yes. Also, this thing is waterproof too. Oh, another question. Can you power via USB while streaming? We're talking about the DJI Action. There is no USB port on the top part. If you connect it to the bottom part, there is a USB port. And yes, you can power it while streaming. I don't think I have oh, I do have a USB here. So the USB port plugs in. We're still live. It's charging now. That is working fine. So charging, still streaming, powered. I tried it with the Action 1 in my kitchen sink once. It dropped as soon as it touched the water. Wi-Fi underwater doesn't work at all. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling the Wi-Fi does not work underwater. So, why are you staying inside? It's currently 60 and sunny outside. It is really nice outside. I noticed that. Really nice day today. I don't know, because I don't want you to see the street that I'm on. Don't need that much precision about where you all know I'm in Portland. Is there a cage for it for the DJI Action 2? I don't think so, because it is waterproof. The bottom part is not. The top part is waterproof. But okay, so we were talking about streaming. The ability to restart the last saved settings on this is useful, but not foolproof. Okay. We're going to end this one and switch to even less prepared demos. Oh, I was talking about the audio. I was trying to track down the audio problem. I think the audio, I think there's something going on with the audio in the, so that's why I turned this thing on. Let me start the stream again, because I want to fix this, because I don't think it's the DJI's fault. The audio sounds fine recorded from it. It's definitely like, it's got these stereo mics, so it sounds like super weird compared to just a single microphone like this one, but it should be totally loud enough. I can see the signal on the multi-view. You can see it's coming in 6 RTMP. It's really low, and I'm really up close to it. It is really low, and like look at the table or input 5, which is this camera. It's like peaking because it's just a built-in crappy mic on that camera. It should be a lot higher because this audio, this should like when you listen to it recorded back, it sounds fine. I have a feeling it's something to do with the RTMP receiver, and I haven't played with these settings yet, so we can try this really quick. For example, gain is set to 0. Okay, what if we do that? That's worse. I'm just going to change all the settings. And then that is, what happens if we try to up the gain here? Let's go up 12. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the signal bounced a lot. So now it's actually hitting into the yellow and slightly into the red. What does it sound like? Now I actually do need to hear myself on headphones. So let me switch audio here. This is the audio from the DJI Action again. That sounds much more reasonable. The delay is very confusing to be talking at this delay while listening to myself. The microphone, if I switch to just the top, it sounds very different. You don't get the stereo effect with just the top one. So that comes in on the when you attach the bottom module. There it is. Woo, yeah, nice stereo. So that, I guess, solved that problem. That was setting in the Magewell receiver. I just cranked it up 11 decibels, and I guess that's better. Interesting. Yes, it's going to be a lot more noisy audio on the built-in mic of any camera. Sounds good now. Needs serious EQ. Because I'm going to the ATEM, I can mess with the EQ because I can actually change it on there, but I don't care too much about that right now. Oh, the other cool thing about the Action is they do have their own microphone coming out soon, but I don't need my phone. Oh, I do need my phone still for the GoPro demo in a second. This is why I hate these big bulky cables. I need the slim one here. Anyway, they have their own mic coming out soon, but it does not exist yet. And in the meantime, you can plug in other USB microphones. So we take this KmikeyM one. I actually can connect the KmikeyM microphone into the USB port, and you can see the icon change, and now it knows it's using a USB microphone. So I can turn on this lav mic, and now the DJI camera is actually going through this. You can see it clips when I tap it. So it's using the wireless microphone now over a USB, which is kind of cool. And I guess DJI is making one that looks almost the same as this, same idea of like it plugs into the side and has these little capsules. So that is pretty cool too. I guess we can do an audio demo of that while this is all set up. So I don't have a button for my audio. I should probably make that button before we get too far on this. Okay, now we're looking at the RTMP feed again, and this would be like up here, and this is what it would sound like from the KmikeyM microphone. It looks like it's hitting the right levels. I don't have my headphones on, so you'll have to let me know how it sounds, because I can't hear it myself. Also, hearing yourself on this much of a delay is really annoying. So, okay, that's enough of that. Cool. So, yeah, the microphone is as big as the camera. It is with the DJI one too, which is kind of funny. No, it's a little bit smaller. It's a little bit smaller. The case is bigger. Sounds great. Sounds all right. Okay. If you have to use the phone app, could you connect a wireless Go to the phone and use the phone app like Lyrics with good audio? Yeah. If you like scrap the DJI thing, totally. You could broadcast from Lyrics over to your RTMP server also, and then connect one of these things or any microphone into your phone. Cool. Okay, so DJI Action 2, my summary of it is, why is this message not going away? Grab yourself a USB extension cable to plug into your phone, and plug the Apple USB-C HDMI into the far end with a short HDMI cable into the ATEM. Removes the bulk at the phone end. My phone's not USB-C. My phone is Lightning, and I don't have any Lightning extension cables. Okay, so yeah, summary of DJI Action 2 before we move on. I think it is great that it has the resume last live stream feature on the device so you can start a stream without a phone. However, it's not reliable enough to not also be ready to have a phone to set it up. Cool. Can you use the DJI Pocket 2 wireless mic with the DJI Action 2? That is an excellent question. I don't think you can, because if I remember correctly, the microphone pairs directly to the Pocket 2. And I don't have it here to test it. I have it at home. I will try that. I don't think it's going to work, though. Okay. Next up, GoPro. Let me drop this link in just for my own timestamp sake, since it is now getting very late. GoPro Hero 10 Black. It is the right level in the comic. Good. Okay. So GoPro. GoPro Hero 10 Black. Oh, one last question about the DJI. Can you plug in a regular external mic? No, there is no microphone jack on the Action. There is only USB-C. So it'll take any USB-C microphone, but it does not take a regular 1/8 inch microphone. That does mean that the Rode Wireless Go works, because the Rode Wireless Go also is USB-C. And you can take a little short USB-C cable, but it looks a little bit silly having this dangling off the side. And the DJI the Action 2 is smaller than the Rode Wireless Go. Where's my focus? There it is. So you can see that it's slightly bigger. Okay, now onto the GoPro. GoPro Hero 10 Black. So this one, everybody knows what GoPros look like and what they are. First of all, they changed the size of the GoPro compared to the previous gen, which means all the cases and accessories no longer work. A couple good things about the physical changes. I do like that the bottom has the little things for the mounts. It's part of the camera now. So, try am I turning this? If I have this really tight because it's normally on my bike as like a dash cam. There we go. So normally, like on the old GoPros, you have to add a case in order to be able to attach these mounts. What they did on this one is they built it into the case. So it is not the case. They built it into the camera. It is part of the camera. So they flip out, and then you can attach all these accessories, and these ones are the same, but the physical camera is different size. So, okay, we got that on there. Actually, I don't want that on there. I want it on my little tripod. So I can attach this little tripod handle. It is a little bit more fiddly now because they move, whereas they used to be fixed. So we're already seeing the real world struggles of getting these things set up. Come on, go in there. There we go. Okay. Tighten that. Is it going? Yes. Now we have a little tripod for it. So now I can show you the screen. Let's focus that camera. Other fun fact about the GoPro 10 is there is no longer an HDMI port on it. So instead of a built-in HDMI port, there is a separate attachment, which I do have. Over here, separate whole thing. So when you add this, the whole camera slips into this, and this has the HDMI port. It also has a USB-C and audio jack. So you can plug in a regular mic into this. This is the media mod. It has a built-in mic as well. Whole camera slips into this. By the time you put the camera into this, this is now no longer a small camera. I mean, it's kind of small, but it's not GoPro sized. This is already the size of the original GoPros in a case. And that's just the camera. So they're significantly bigger now. Okay, so we've got this thing turned on. Are we still live? Okay. My chat stopped updating. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So, yeah. This is bigger. Not a huge fan of the size. But let's talk about how to get this onto streaming. First of all, I'm pretty sure I have to go into the phone to do this, at the very least for setup. So I need my internet back. Let's turn Wi-Fi back on, and then let's open the GoPro app. And not GoPro, GoPro Quick. And then let's see, I can go back to showing you my phone. Oh, I need to make some buttons for myself. I told myself I was going to do that. So the buttons I need are, oh my God, this stream is forever. I hope this is fun for people. The buttons I need are audio for, oh, I have those here. Okay, RTMP audio, is that input 6? Toggle on off. Okay, so I can do that. And I want to turn on and off upstream key 2, which is for the phone layout. So we'll do, we'll make a button for phone with picture in picture. And we're going to upstream key 2, which is where I did this one. Yeah, so I can bring myself in on upstream key 2. And then we're going to do program input is 8. And now when I press that, you should be seeing my phone with myself. Cool. And then I need a button to turn off picture in picture, because otherwise I get stuck on the screen. Maybe I should have just made a super source layout with my phone. Is that too much work? That's too much work. Okay. So I'll make a picture in picture off and turn off key 2. And now I can press that to get rid of the double. Okay, cool. So I'm going to use that button now to show you the phone screen. And we would like to connect to interfaces or devices on your network. Yes, because I don't think I've launched this on my new phone yet. Okay. Oh, look, I'm logged out, probably because it's a new phone. Great. I have to go sign in again, so bear with me while I do that. Looks like it is working with my password manager, which is nice. That's good. Okay. Loaded in. Logged in. I don't know what Mural is. I just want to use the camera. Control the GoPro. And connecting. Is it here? It should be the GoPro 10. Come on. Oh my gosh. Live demos. Real time. We had trouble connecting. Try again. Wireless connection. I'm pretty sure the wireless connection's enabled. Connections. Wireless connection is on. Maybe I have to... Yeah, wireless connection is on. Okay. Hero 10 black. That is the new one. So my old ones. Let's just try like connecting it again. No camera found. Hero 10 black. Turn your camera on. Swipe connections. Connect device. Oh dear. You can also try rebooting your GoPro. Press and hold it for 10 seconds. Release it, then follow the on-screen instructions. Eric, thank you for the super chat. Longer live stream, no problem. Live demos. Okay. Got it. We're going to do it. We're going to go 10 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And is it going to reboot? Yeah, it's rebooting. Okay, there it goes. Tap. Okay. Swipe down. Tap. Connections. This is new. It says wireless connections are off now. So let's turn that back on. And connect device. Aha, GoPro quick app. Continue. We found your GoPro. Pair it. I think this may have been because it's a new phone. So like it migrates some data onto the new phone, but it doesn't migrate some of the like Bluetooth or things that require credentials. Okay, so name the camera. No, leave as Aaron's. Update. Great. Update the camera. Connecting. So yeah, another tip is if you are going to be using these kinds of devices on an event, make sure you've turned them all on once before and run through all the updates so that you don't get stuck doing this when you're doing a live demo or a live gig. Yeah. 100%. So, okay, we are updating, connecting, camera update available. Can you see that kind of? Yeah. New features, extended battery, blah, 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 performance, blah, 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 usability. Okay, great. Legal disclaimer, sure. Transferring files. Here we go. There was a problem. Update later. Yep. Well, okay. We're connected. Starting preview. Update later. Starting preview. Okay, cool. We don't actually need to see the preview. What we do need to do is figure out where the live button is. Now it's on the phone. So set up live. Let's go back so you can see this clearer. Select a platform. We're going to do RTMP. No one wants to click through a legal disclaimer with T-minus 5 seconds to go, right? Yeah. Even worse is a DJI drone you can update almost every day. That's a little excessive, I feel like. Okay, so notable, the camera is asking for the Wi-Fi network, which means theoretically, this does not need to use my phone's network to stream. I like that. So we're going to go and type in my Wi-Fi password. And then we're going to, let's do 1080. And then where's my RTMP URL? I'm going to try my copy paste trick from my computer. I'm going to go to the Magewell and grab this one. And then I need to change the host name to my external name. And copy that and paste. It worked. Okay. I don't care about saving a copy, but that is cool that you can record a copy of the stream to the USB drive. Set up live stream. Okay. I guess it's ready to go. Keep your camera upright. Go live. Stream health. It's going. Do I see it on the multi-view? Not yet. And not yet. It says it's live. Is my Magewell set to receive that one? It is. Yeah. Still not seeing it. Are we getting anything? Oh, interesting. That's not a resolution. Look at this. Look at this. Oops. Get rid of my picture in picture. This is the one. Okay. This is the picture that the Magewell device is getting. It's getting a stream that is 1912 by 1088. It's like it took 8 pixels from the side and put it on the bottom. So I think what's happening is the Magewell is outputting this resolution, and the ATEM is like, I don't understand what that is. Do I have any scaling options in the Magewell? I don't. Oh, it's supposed to be outputting scaled. Show source name and resolution. Ah, this is interesting. look at the multi-view. The interesting thing now is let's turn on, let's go like that, and then switch over to the RTMP, and then go show you that. Look at this. This is what the Magewell is sending to the ATEM. It is actually sending a black screen with the text up at the top, which is the resolution. Show the audio meter. There's that audio meter on the side. You can see it as it is actually hearing me. Show center cross. Yeah. So we're just not getting a picture because it's like at a super weird resolution, which is really interesting. So as you say, that is not a resolution. Yeah, so like the Magewell talking to the ATEM is fine because we're seeing the text up there, but the picture is not working. Why is there a DJI in front of the RTMP? Oh, on the Magewell configuration screen. Did I show you that? I created the list of, I created this list of stream keys. You can have multiple stream keys created. Now I have to change them all. But like, this is the one that was loaded into the YoloBox, and I can choose to show that one on the output instead. And then it changes what's on the display. So this, I just called it DJI because I put it into my DJI device, and then I just copied this one to the GoPro. That's the only reason. So, okay. That is terrifying. I don't know what is going on or how to fix this. Is the DJI still sending? No, it's off. The camera is off. So like, and we saw the audio levels from this camera coming through. We just didn't have any picture. So let's try this. Let's try setting the GoPro to 720. We're gonna end the stream. We're gonna go end this stream, I think. End the stream. Come on. End the stream. No, I can't end it. I wonder if it got disconnected from the Wi-Fi when my phone went to sleep. So this is a fail. Can I stop it by pressing that? This is pretty dramatic. I can't do anything on the GoPro. I can't stop it on the phone. Can I quit the app and start it again? I don't want to try Miro. I just want to control the camera. No. I just want to control the camera. Control it. Connecting. Okay, it knows it's still streaming. Now can I stop it? Oh my gosh. Okay, camera crashed as far as I can tell. Nothing is responding. Can I hold down the button for 10 seconds and reboot it? Is that going to work? Nope. Wow. It really crashed. I can't even... Oh, there it goes. Okay. Rebooting. Can I get back into it? The nightmare of a streamer, being online and not being able to stop. Yeah. Maybe I should update the firmware on this thing. It's really not happy. Okay. Typical GoPro. So that's fantastic. My phone's also not connecting to it. So far, it seems like Lumix was a few steps, DJI second, with more steps, and GoPro, jury is still out, possibly Sad Panda. Yeah, I agree. I will say the one thing I cheated on was with the Lumix, I didn't show you how to actually set up the Wi-Fi. But why don't I show you really quick the Lumix, the software, because that is, it's reasonable. My phone's not connecting to the GoPro. So here's what you get in the Lumix. If you download this desktop app, you get this app, and you paste in a stream URL and a stream key here. And that is, you do that. So you do like RTMP, whatever, YouTube, blah, 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 stream key, blah, blah, blah. And then this, you plug in an SD card, and then you export this file. You give it a password. I always just type 1111 because I don't care. Save it to an SD card, and then it writes a file onto that, which you can then load into the camera. And that process, like this, is very straightforward. You do that once, and again, like it will keep it on the camera. You can load multiple of them onto the camera too. So connecting to the camera to Wi-Fi, you have to do it on the camera, but it's so you do have to enter the Wi-Fi password on the camera, but it's really not that bad. And you do it once. You don't have to do it every time. But okay, back to the GoPro. I think we are going to give up on it because holy crap, that was awful. Felicia says the GoPro is best suited using the cage with HDMI. I agree, and even then, I would say I don't even think it's the best camera. But yeah, like put the cage on it, grab HDMI out, run that into the ATEM. I don't think it's the best camera because, for one, it's micro HDMI, and I think the GoPro is one of the ones I was having trouble with a bunch of the cables. So depending on the length of the cable and how thick that is and all that kind of stuff. So you may have trouble with getting that signal into the ATEM because of the distance of or the length of the cable or how thick it is. And even then, like, I think you're better off with cameras that are not a GoPro. For example, like this Lumix or even an iPhone at this point. Okay, so that was a fail. One more. Graham says, isn't that your current life, being on a stream and unable to stop? Fair. Fair point. It does claim to stream. They never promised not streaming. Okay. Yeah, it goes to show how GoPro's gone downhill in past years. I'm really disappointed about it too because I was excited they had improved a bunch of stuff with the 10, but apparently not. HDMI out seems to have issues too. It's only sending 1080 60 with every frame doubled, so effectively 1080p. That's silly. I haven't even tried that. Okay. Cool. So next up. Next up is Insta360. Where's my link for it? Oh dear. I have to do these links because the trick is my system grabs all of the links that I've put into the chat at the timestamp, and it gives me the timestamps that I copy into the video later. So it's way faster to do chapter markers, which is going to be really important on this stream because of how long it is. So that is why I am so eager to actually get these links in the chat. Okay, here is the Insta360 One X2. So this camera, oh, I should also probably have mentioned, none of these cameras were sent to me. These are all things I've actually bought. So forgot to mention that at the beginning, but yeah, I just bought all these because I wanted to try them. So Insta360 One X2. First of all, so this is a 360 camera. So it's got cameras on both sides and it makes a full picture. Very cool. I actually really like this camera a lot for just recording stuff. It is also pretty fast to turn on. So when you push the button, it's a lot slower than the DJI, but it's booted up, it's recording, and you can just like wave it around and record stuff, and it is recording all directions all the time, and it will produce extremely stable video out of the end. Very, very cool. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about live streaming from it. So, oh yeah, that trick was if you hold down the button on the front, it powers on and starts recording, and then when you stop it, it shuts down the camera. So super quick to like, I usually leave this like in a bag or in the side or something that I can quickly pull out, and then extend the little stick, hold down the button, I know it's recording, and I can wave it around and get some video and then put it away really quick. So it's not a whole thing. But we are interested in streaming from it. So we're going to do the same kind of thing. We're going to turn it on with a side button so it doesn't start recording. And see what it takes to set it up. So there is a little screen, which I guess I should probably show you the little screen first. And a little screen has some options for like, I guess, navigating where it's recording. I thought there was a menu on it. There it is. There is a menu. You can do some amount of control on it, but not much. So that's switching from 360 to a wide angle. What is that one? Flip it around. I think you can choose the recording size on it, but I don't think, oh, cool. So you can actually switch into like time-lapse mode, which is good, but there's no streaming, nothing on there for streaming. So again, back to the phone. We have to use the phone and we have to use their app to configure it. And then we're going to see, does this require the phone is part of the stream, or can we again turn off the phone? Okay, first of all, software update again. Software update. Is there anything relevant? Otherwise, I'm going to skip it. No. Cancel. Connection failed. New phone, new Bluetooth connection, I think is the answer here. So how do I do this? Join, connect Wi-Fi. I might need to tell it it's a new camera. Let's see if this works. Connected. Okay, good. So I don't know why there's like a timeline. Oh my gosh, new UI, new experience. Switch to recording mode, tap to expand mode. That's what I want to do. Tap to expand mode. Okay, little up arrow. Get started. Okay, there's the camera. You can see the 360 version of my studio. Tap to change the mode. Somewhere in here, hopefully there is a live stream. There is live or reframe live. Ooh, I don't remember the difference. I think I want reframe live because I don't want to actually stream a 360 video. RTMP, please enter the RTMP URL. Let's see if it's still on my clipboard. Nope. Copy that and paste. Paste. There it goes. Return, return. Oh, the keyboard is covering up the start live stream button. Start live stream. So notice it did not ask me for Wi-Fi info. It didn't ask me for Wi-Fi info, which means I think it's actually streaming to my phone and using my phone's data connection because my phone is connected to it over Wi-Fi, right? So like I'm on 5G, you can see on my phone, I'm not on my Wi-Fi. So let's go live, and then we'll show you the multi-view to see if the stream pops up. It did. Okay. So that's notable. There is no option to connect it to Wi-Fi, which means I am streaming through my phone's data connection, which means I have a feeling if I shut my phone down, it's going to stop the stream. Can I control which way this thing is pointing? Yes, I can. Okay, so we'll go like that. So we can see me, and then that was reasonably quick to set up. I am vertical. Is that what the reframe live is? Let's change to the other option. Regular live, RTMP. I didn't even save it. So have a notepad ready to copy that from. RTMP, go. Oh, there was little settings down there that I didn't press. Okay, we'll see what happens with this first of all. Okay, this is sending the 360. So for YouTube, for example, if I were to tell YouTube that, let's see. Oh, it's doing that thing again. Okay. There we go. If I were to tell YouTube this is a 360 stream, then the browser would turn it into something where you could pan around, which is kind of cool. So I can't do that now, obviously. this has already started. But I do want reframe live. I just want it to be not vertical. So are there any options we get in here? VBR, sure, 6, auto mode. What is that? That's exposures and stuff. Do we get any, oh, what if I turn my phone sideways? No? No? Okay. 360? Aha, what about this? Wide? It's really wide. Oh, photo. Why did it switch to photo? Switching to enter. Oh my God, what is happening? I got out of streaming mode. How do I get back into streaming mode? 360. Okay, that was interesting. Reframe live. 360. About 150. It's doing something. Now switch to video. Is there a live option? No live option. So we only get the live option in 360 mode. 360. And can I do reframe that's not vertical? I don't see any option for it. I see a bitrate option, that's it. Yeah. That's the live stream platform. Okay. That's it. So we get vertical live stream. Last used RTMP. Oh my God, I have to enter it again. So every time I go live, I have to enter the RTMP URL. And then we go look at the multi-view again and pan that around. Live stream has started. And then just for fun, let's see, what's the delay on this? Too much for not switching the audio over. So I will go and is it a clean feed out? Yes. I'm about to show you the actual stream and audio from that camera. So hold on while I switch to the audio. So this is the feed from the Insta360. This is audio and video from the RTMP stream. You're seeing this straight from the camera. So now I can do things like pick that up, show you the ceiling, and like the stabilization is really good, and the 360 is really cool, and I can pan around now and show you around the room. Go on a little trip back over here to my little cabinet and see that. So it's cool. Oh, the audio is probably bad because it's like 6 feet away from me. This is maybe more like what I would do for a stream if I'm like talking and then I want to like show you around the room. It's cool. It's kind of cool. It definitely distorted. I don't know why I'm stuck in vertical mode. What if you turn the Insta360 horizontally? Then it keeps the picture vertical. Look at that. You can't see it, obviously, because it's streaming, but you can see how I'm holding it. And it's just like, oh, whatever. We're going to keep the picture as straight as we possibly can. So, yeah, I just don't see any option. I'm spinning it around and you can't even tell. I don't see any option for changing it to horizontal. If someone knows, let me know, because I think it's silly to do vertical. But I guess if you're streaming to Instagram, you do want it vertical. Eric says the novelty of this is potentially very useful. I agree. It's fun. How does the sound sound? I'm not listening to it. Because this is the built-in mic on the Insta360. Okay, back to the real life. So, sound is a little bit weak. Okay, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It is the built-in mic. The selfie stick is somehow masked out. Yeah, they have this. They do magic, and they just erase the selfie stick out of the picture, which is really cool. But cool. It does work, and it. seems, oh yeah, it seems like it is streaming over my phone's data. So that was the thing I wanted to test, was if I let's see if I can get that at least a little bit in focus on that camera. So if I quit the app, does the stream die? So you can see the RTMP feed in input 6. And if I quit the app, yeah, the stream died. So it is 100% requires the phone app to be on and active. Oh, I should have tried was, can it work if I just move the app to the background without fully quitting it? That would be useful to know. So I should launch this again. Let's try this again. What does it take to get set up if I do accidentally quit the app or the app crashes? That's another good question. So we are going to go try to connect to the camera. It looks like it's remembered the connection. Yeah, okay, it's remembered the connection. And then we're going to go reframe live, start the stream. I think it's going to ask me for the stream key once again. Oh no, it remembered it. Interesting. Okay, so it remembered the stream key, and now we're live again. So cool. That's better. But what happens if I leave the app and go to my home screen? Oh, wow. That's not good. So the app has to be in focus on the front of the screen for the stream to be working. Okay. That is very, very precarious. I'm not a big fan of that. That means basically I can't do anything else with my phone if I'm going to be streaming with this. So, cool. That was fun. So let's stop streaming so I don't waste all my data on my phone. What are people saying in the chat? And I think that's going to wrap this up. Eric says it's more or less like an external 360 webcam for a smartphone that can stream to RTMP. Yeah. Although you can't do anything else with it on the phone. Ryan says, looking forward to the Ursa broadcast G2 built-in RTMP streaming. If it's going to be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get that camera in here. I would hope that the Ursa G2 UI is supremely easier and quicker than any of the ones we've seen so far. I would hope so. The Blackmagic UI for their cameras is half decent, I would say. Actually, it's fine. I don't really have any complaints. Naomi Wu can probably help you. She's an avid user of this device. Good to know. I will go look at her videos. Sound is good since it's far from your face. Yeah, it was like, at the end of that stick. Insta360 One R gives landscape mode. Okay, that's their little GoPro shaped one. Insta360 paired with Zoom H3 VR is great. 360 audio and video. Oh, cool. Okay. Is that the 360 audio device? That's cool. Yeah, I don't have the 360 One R to try it, otherwise I would. What is your main camera in the main shot? This is the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. Joey says, I do live streams from my church, and monitoring audio from the ATEM versus the audio we monitor from YouTube is quite different. Going in, it sounds crisp. YouTube monotone. It could be that what you're seeing on YouTube is one of their downscaled versions. So the YouTube player can play like 1080 or 480 or 240 even. And I think when you go down in video resolution, it also drops the audio quality. So double check that when you're watching it on YouTube, the YouTube player is actually set to the full resolution. So like it's in this little thing, it's the little gear. You can choose the quality. And if I go down to 240, which it might be doing if you're like on a bad connection, the video is obviously bad, but the sound is also bad. So that's, I'm guessing, what's going on. Whatever's coming out of your ATEM is the truth. So that's what I would care about, making sure that sounds right. What Magewell hardware is ingesting RTMP? That is the Magewell Pro Convert. I have the, why did that not work? I think I linked it down below, but I'll just drop the link in chat one more time. Yeah, Magewell Pro Convert. It's the H26X to SDI. So Magewell Pro Convert H26X to SDI. And that is what I'm using for receiving the stream, outputting it into the ATEM Mini. Actually, outputting into my SDI matrix into the ATEM Mini. Felicia says, have you tested the Osmo Pocket 2 for streaming? I did. I actually did a live stream from that for Anomalily. Let me grab that link. You can check out what it actually looked like. She has a stream later today, which is now, time is just ticking down to that stream. So there it is. So this stream, let me drop this link in. This was when we went down to LA and visited our friend KmikeyM, who sells shares of himself. He's a publicly traded person. He's KmikeyM.com, and you can go trade shares and help him make decisions, like what to order for lunch or where to meet for lunch. Anyway, she did an interview with him talking about that, and this was from where we were staying in LA, and this is the stream from, oh, I'm in 240 playback. Let's bump that back up to 1080. This is the stream, this is the Pocket 2, DJI Pocket 2, and I had that connected to my little travel router, and we were streaming from the hotel. It worked great. It worked really well. That was with the Rode wireless mics into the camera. So you can take a look at that if you want to see a demo of that in action. Graham says, can you, oh, this was when I was troubleshooting the GoPro. Can you put the Magewell out through a decimator? No, so the problem was that the ATEM did see it because we could see the text on the screen. So it was something about the video signal that the Magewell was trying to decode, and that was the failure because the ATEM saw it fine. Zoom H3VR is recorder plus 360 microphones in a small package. That sounds cool. H3VR. I'll have to look at that to see if it's, no, that's H3. There it is. Built-in audio. Oh, this thing. I've seen that before. Yeah, 360 audio. Interesting. Very cool. So I don't have any experience with 360 audio production at all. Andrew says, if the GoPro and the Insta360 tie up your phone, is this a better option? Might as well just use Larix Broadcaster on the phone. Is that a good alternative? Well, I don't know, because like one of the nice things about this, even though this does tie up the app on the phone, or does tie up the phone to be doing this, you can wave this thing around, or you can give it to somebody else. And then on your phone, I was controlling where it was pointing from my phone. So I was panning around on the phone. And that means you can have two people, two different people, like, you know, like the host using the camera and somebody else controlling the stream, which is nice. Whereas if you actually handed somebody a phone that was streaming, then yeah. Return that junk, waste of money. I hope that was about the GoPro. I don't know. The GoPro, like, I use it for recording. It's mounted to the top of my bike, and it records on my bike rides, so it's fine for that. And it's good for, like, I don't know. And I haven't ever used the front screen, but I'm just not thrilled with it. Philip says, do you usually use the iPad for changing your Video Hub assignments or Stream Deck Companion? So normally what I do is I have the, I have in my iPad, is this in focus? Right now, because I'm at this table, I have my iPad loaded up with the Stream Deck emulator. These are all the buttons that are on my actual Stream Deck at the desk. And I have a menu in here, which is called routing. And this is the sort of main routing that I normally use. So I have these are just labels really, but I have like the left monitor, the smart view. I have a couple of the ATEM inputs that I change often. and the table monitors for this one over here. And these are like the common sources that I route to. So this is like my shortcuts for it. And then I did build in one, my main show one here. So I built in a couple of ones here. Oh my God, I totally forgot one of the, we're going to end with that. There's a button here, cue the YoloBox Pro video. So let me switch and show you the multi-view. When I do that, watch input 4 over there. That's going to change. It's going to reroute to my hyperdeck and load a clip on the hyperdeck. And now that's ready to play, which I can do with that button. So I usually do it like this, where I've got it's not a full routing menu, but it is like, I'll do shortcuts and stuff for common things that I am likely to use over and over again. Felicia asks, do you have a video of how to set up the DJI Pocket 2? I don't, but if I remember correctly, it was nearly identical to what I just did on the Action 2, because it's the same app you use, and everything is pretty much the same. I don't think the Pocket 2 has this resume last live stream feature, but as far as the setup of like going into the app and typing in the stream key and that kind of stuff, it's the same on both of them. Be interesting to see if the Insta360 app can work with an iPad and split screen. Oh, yeah, that would be interesting. What is the tripod beside me? Oh, good question. It's actually a light stand. It's kind of cool. It's meant to be a light stand, but I have been using it for this camera. Do I even remember what it is? Do I remember what it is? It is a... Oh gosh, I'm trying to find it in here. I don't know. I got it a long time ago. If I can find it, I can show you what it actually looks like. Gosh. I may not be able to. Oh, yes. Okay. Here it is. I bought a few of them. Oh, it's not even available on this product listing anymore. But it looks like this. It's got, like, it has a opposite of a tripod, where normally you want a tripod to be a short thing on top and mostly legs. I wanted the opposite for lights and stuff, so it doesn't take up a lot of floor space. So it's like a short little thing on the bottom and then a super long pole. But it works great for this camera too, because it means the footprint on the floor is not that big. It's like this big on the floor. But sadly, it's not available anymore. Sorry. But I'm sure there's like some other version of it that's available. With 360 audio, it's similar to recomposing 360 video in post. That's cool. That's interesting. Might have to try playing with that at some point. Cool. Okay. Well, that was fun. I'm hungry. I'm officially hungry for lunch. It is way past lunchtime. And I need to go home and set up for the next live stream. If you do want to join that, that's 3.5 hours from now on Anomaly's channel. I just dropped the link. And she'll be talking about something having to do with money and personal finance. But yeah, we are going to wrap this up. Oh, I do want to show you this video because it's very cool. The YoloBox Stands. Last little plug about the stands. I don't think anybody's claimed them during this show. I didn't check my email yet, but oh, thanks, Peter. 3.5 hour stream. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. No food demo. No, you don't need to see me eat on stream, but you will. Anomaly does eat a donut on stream and reviews it, so that should be fun. Yes, the YoloBox stand. So if you buy a YoloBox today, if you haven't yet bought one, now that the giveaway is done and you didn't win, and you still want one, take advantage of the fact that it is on sale right now. It is still a good price. Buy one of those today, and then send me the receipt and send Frank the receipt, or just send it to me and I'll CC him. And send a receipt, and we will send you a stand. And I wanted to show you a very cool video of the stands being made that I just got from the people who make it. And I'm going to roll that video right now. I think it is very cool to see the time lapse of those things getting built. So that is super cool. And thanks, Philip, for the super chat that came in right when I started that video. Fantastic timing on that. Thanks for the super long live stream. Here's some lunch money. Good. I need to eat a lot now. I'm definitely hungry. Graham says that stream has kept me sane while there's been a kid show in our theater. Fortunately, I was in the office soldering up a patch panel. Well, great. What channel will you be on next? I will not be on the channel. I will be running the stream. But that is Anomaly. Also, go subscribe to her because she is about to hit 1,000. So, well, she's close. We're hoping she can hit 1,000 by the end of the year. So 789, go subscribe to her, and her videos are mostly live streams right now, but all about personal finance and other economics stuff. So always fun, interesting topics. Also a very friendly community in the chat there as well. So that is where I will be hanging out next. But I am not on that show. I am behind the camera on that show. All right. Don't forget to like the stream. Exactly. And give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you for all the super chats. We are going to wrap this thing up. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks for the exceedingly long live stream today. Good questions. Hopefully this was some fun demos. Hopefully you learned some things. Hopefully we learned what is the best use of a GoPro. Maybe it's not live streaming. But I'm going to bring this with me on my next trip and also my Lumix, and we'll see how that stream goes when I actually try those things out in the real world. So yeah, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks. I'm going to go crash and eat some food, hopefully eating the food before the crashing. See you.